Came out here. Do you hear me okay? I got the microphone set right. I forget what I did the last time. So real quick, somebody throw me a thing saying you can hear me okay. Trying to set this a little bit better. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Whoops, sorry about that. My cell phone. It's really the only way I can do comments. Okay, I'm waiting for people to show up. This morning when I got up, I don't know if I'll be able to put it in a video anywhere, but I went out to the lanai out there to open up the screen doors to let the breeze come through. Otherwise, the lanai gets really hot. And when I went out there, I saw this big lizard hanging on the screen. And it's a true lizard. Here's what I understand the difference is really between a lizard and our geckos that we normally have running around here. The geckos actually have a tongue. And when they go to eat anything, they scoop it up with their tongue and they eat it like an ant. And then the males have the little thing down here and they flip it in and out, you know. A lizard actually has I forget what it's called. I'll call it, it's a snake tongue. You know how snakes sniff the air by sticking it out, wiggling around, go back in? That's a lizard. They have that, okay? This thing back here had that. It's hanging on my screen, and I stood there and was watching this thing. I'd never seen it here before. And it's flicking its tongue out there. I'm calling it a tongue, but I know it's not. And sniffing the air and everything. So I took my GoPro, and I went out there. And the best that I could, I got as close to it as I could. And I was trying to get some video of this thing. So if I can, and I don't know that I can, I haven't even downloaded the video yet. It's just a short little, little bit of me walking around just doing it. I'll see if I can't put it on one of my videos and see what you guys think. We have a swamp that's in the back of my neighborhood, so I'm going to guess this thing has wandered from the swamp to all the yards, and it finally got to my yard. So anyway, Phil said, "Yeah, it works. Okay, good. I'll leave it that way then." I've got it on. I don't know if you can see it or not. There it is, right there. Tap, 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 tap. Everybody seems to like it better than using the speaker that's on the iPad. Hot Job says, "Hello, Skip." Hello, Hot Job. How's everything in Illinois? From what I'm seeing on TV, it's kind of scattered. Out west, they got the heat wave going on still. And here right now, it's kind of pretty normal and quiet, really. We haven't had any hurricanes yet. We haven't really had any tropical storms or anything to speak of. I think there's one they're working on that it may come through here. We don't know yet. But Mississippi and parts of Texas, I think, and maybe Louisiana now. I'm not sure where it all went, but I guess there was a huge storm there. Mississippi, lots of Mississippi is flooded underwater. I know lots of Kentucky. There are parts of Kentucky that was flooded and underwater. Illinois, I'm not too sure. I don't think you guys have had anything serious going on, have you? Not that I've seen anyway. I think up north, it's warmer than normal. And somebody sent me a thing from New York, somewhere in New York, telling me that their temperatures this year was a lot warmer than normal. I think it was New York. Maybe it was New Jersey. It's all the same, right? New York, New Jersey. What's the difference? Hey! Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Can you see this? My buddy Phil got this for me. He brought it by the house. I was working on the W&L show. He sent me an email saying, "Hey, I'm going to drop by." I said, "Okay, I'm here. I'll be here all day. Just drop by any time." I was working on the computer. I had the headsets on. Sue was out in Lanai, had the door shut. She was painting out there. She had a door shut, so she didn't. Apparently, Phil was here. I didn't know it. I didn't hear anything, and so he left it on the porch, on my front porch by the door. It was like an Amazon worker. And anyway, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's supposed to be, he didn't like the idea of me sitting out here. My beer was getting warm. You take the top of it off. I got my beer in there. Here is the thing. I've never used this, so we'll see if it works. To open up your beer, well, I think it will, but it's not easy. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it works. And then she was supposedly, it's supposed to keep my beer cooler for a longer period of time. We are going to give it a test today. Thanks, Phil. Then you put the thing back on it to keep it, stuck inside. Woo. How's that work? Oh, I could have screwed that on. And I think he's going to drop by here today about 1:30, he said, and bring me, he barbecued. No, he didn't barbecue. He smoked. He smoked some chicken wings. And he's going to stop by here today and bring me a couple of chicken wings. Sue today is gone. She left earlier today about 10:30. She has her ladies' lunch today, and I don't know where they went. Truthfully, I don't really care. But she's at ladies' lunch, and I don't know when she's going to be home. I don't know when ladies' lunch starts, because 10:30 seemed a bit early to me, but, maybe they had an early lunch. I don't know. And I don't know where they went, but that's where she's at. She's gone for that. If you come to the villages and live here, you're going to find there's a lot of that goes on. It could be what you call a neighborhood activity. People are always talking about over 3,000 clubs and things you can join. That's true. Most of them are within the villages, registrar to do that. But you'll find probably that most of your activities, other than the like pickleball clubs and stuff like that you may do, but most of your activities are going to be in your neighborhood, where your neighbors and your friends are going to be. You're going to have like a neighborhood driveway party. You're going to have your neighborhood, like Sue, she's got a ladies' lunch, and there's another lady here that has like the ladies' breakfast club, and just stuff like that. That's probably more than likely most of the activities you're going to do, other than golf and pickleball clubs and things of that nature. When we had a neighbor over here, Donnie had, I think it was on Thursdays, some kind of a poker night. And there was like 5 guys that signed up for it. And that's all he wanted was 5 guys. I think it was 5 guys. And then every Thursday, they had a poker game of some kind, card game. I don't know what it was. And then they would go to different people's houses every week. So every 5th week, it was at his house next door over here. And then the next week, it was another guy's house. The next week after that, it was another guy. You get the point. And so they done that. And I think, most generally speaking, I think that's what most people's activities end up being when they move here, is with their neighbors and friends. John Hogan says, hello. Hello, John. 1952 Toot says, hi, Skip. I can hear you. Good. G-Breeze, got you, Illinois. And, where we at here? I think I've already should have went past all that. Elizabeth Chamberlain says, greetings from Chicago. Fisherman 12 from South Carolina says hello. Kimberly Reynolds says hello, hello, hello. William McGill says hi. (1952) Toot says aniline. I don't know what that means. Is that your name, aniline? Is that what you're trying to say? Mimi F says, happy Wednesday. Yeah, I get a little antsy, especially on this Wednesday, because WNL's tonight. And there's so much effort that goes into that show that I just want it to go, smoothly. Now, really, the last 2 or 3 of them has went really pretty smoothly. But I have to change them from time to time. And, glitches happen. Nothing I can do about it, but we haven't had any really for a while. And so, I got a couple of guests this week. One of them, I think, is in Virginia or West Virginia, but I want to say Virginia. And then the other one is in Colorado. So you always worry about, because I don't know what the Wi-Fi service is like in Virginia. I don't know what the Wi-Fi service is like in Colorado. I don't know what the weather systems are in either one of those states. And any of that can affect Wi-Fi and or the show. And here, this time of year especially, the show starts, 7 o'clock. I could be in the middle of a huge thunderstorm coming off the coast. And so it's always nerve-wracking to me to make sure all this is going well and what's going to happen and so on and so forth. So anyway, I think we're ready. I've got my stuff all set up. I've checked it 2 or 3 times like I always do. I haven't got Sue set up yet. I got to get her camera set up and stuff like that. But I think we're ready, and we'll just do the best we can do, and hopefully we have some fun, and we have a prize to give away. And the guests, I'm not going to say who they are or what they're about. You have to tune in to find out, but bring your questions. If you have got a question, bring them. We'll see. What can I say? We'll see. Well, somebody got a new car, or somebody just bought a house here. I'll tell you, my neighborhood, and I'm not saying this is just my neighborhood, there's a lot of neighborhoods, but this neighborhood here is really, really located well. It just is. And so when a house goes up for sale here, literally it's just a day or two and they're gone. And there's a couple of homes back here in the back, I think, that were for sale. One of them, I think, was like 650 grand, and then the other one, I want to say, was over $1 million. Probably along the swamp back there, bigger homes. I don't know about the $1 million house, but I think the 650 grand house is gone already. I know that Tanya's house up here that was for sale, that Sue was helping her with selling things and getting moved out to go to assisted living or whatever. That house sold in 1 day. So, yeah, they're selling homes. There was another one up here on another road up here. I don't know if it's sold yet or not, truthfully. I don't keep up with it. But I know that when they have a house for sale in our area here, they generally don't last very long. Unless they're like way overpriced probably, but they don't last very long. And truthfully, probably in the last 6 weeks, this is weird, I've had 2 people stop by and ask me if I'd consider selling my house. And I don't know why. I don't even know who they was. One of them just drove by in a golf cart, parked out front, and I was just sitting out here. I wasn't doing porch sitting or anything. I was just sitting out here and just kind of looking at things, and they stopped by and said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Doing good." He said, "I wonder if I could ask you a question." I said, "Yeah." He said, we like this neighborhood." He said, I can't afford $1 million house. He said, would you consider possibly, if the price is right, selling your house? And I got to tell you, it's hard to say no to this stuff. But, I know that Sue likes it here. I said, well, maybe someday. I said, but not right now. And we were talking a little bit. And I said, I think the price of homes are starting to come down a little bit. I said, really, for you, I think it'd be better for you just to hang in there for a while and just wait and see what happens, because they may go down more. They may not. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But I don't think I want to sell right now. Nah, I'll just hang around here for a little while longer. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of bad news out there about the villages and what's happening here with like insurance, the roof, all that, that stuff. But I'm just in kind of a wait and see mode, see what happens. It may be a mistake. I don't know that. But me and Sue's pretty content right now. We're just going to hang around for a while. Phil says it's 90 degrees near the Savannah Center with a 104-degree heat index. It don't really, to me, feel as hot today, like say, as it was yesterday, but the humidity's up. You definitely can feel it. Hey, it's Florida. It's what it is. So I think that's what makes it just feel hot, is that humidity. Today, hopefully by the way, I'm going to apologize now. Somewhere during this stream, if the thing shuts off because it overheats, I'll say I'm sorry. But today I brought out, you can't see if there's a rag, wash rag, it's full of ice to keep the rag cold. And as the ice melts, the wash rag get cold. And if I feel the back of it here and it starts getting too hot, I'm going to drape it over the back of this iPad, hopefully to keep it cooled down a little bit. I think I need another swig. Beer of the day is Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Where's Mr. Jesus been? Anybody know? I haven't seen him on here for quite a while, and I know the guy had some major heart surgery, and he did get on here once while he was recuperating and said he couldn't stay long because he just didn't feel well. And I said, that's no problem, man. Hang in there, take care of yourself. But I haven't seen him since. Does anybody know Mr. Jesus? Is he okay? Is he still around? I haven't seen him. Hey, John. Agent K says loud and clear. Good. To Aretha says Charlotte here from Irwin, Pennsylvania. I was talking to WrestleMania a couple days ago. No, last night. See, the closer I get to WNL, I get antsy. I called him and Healthy Home Cooking up. I don't even know what time last night, but they know me well enough to know that, sometimes I need to get some things out of the way that makes me feel better. But he was telling me that I guess, now he lives not in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but really close to it, around there somewhere, whatever that area is called. And he was telling me they had a really good rainstorm there, like 2 or 3 inches. And I don't know what that does there, but apparently that's a lot of rain for that area right now. Or maybe they've been going through a drought. I don't know. They seem like there are droughts everywhere too. Hi, Cindy. Cindy G. 87 in South Carolina and sunny. Fisherman 12 says. Adam Neva says, how cool is that? Where do you get the beer thing from? Amazon? You got to ask Phil. He's on here. I don't know. He just came by the house. I didn't hear him ring the doorbell. I felt really bad about it because I knew he was coming, but I was doing something. I wanted to get it done and out of the way, and then I was going to, wait for him. But by the time I got done, I'd come out here, and he was already here and gone. I got a hold of him later that day, but I just felt bad. I knew he was coming, and I missed him. But anyway, he left it here. I don't know where he got it. I mean, maybe it was Amazon. I don't know. But he's on here. He'll answer your question. By the way, Phil B is Phil Beard. That's who you see. The little blue wrench right there. He's one of my moderators. That's who Phil B is. We have Phil B, Patreon member, and then we have Bill B, Patreon member. Now, Bill B couldn't come to the Patreon lunch this month because I think his mother's ill and he had to fly to Chicago. So that's an excused absence. Hope she's doing better, Bill. Give her our best. John says, is that a Yingling lager? No, it's Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Whenever there's Oktoberfest around, I really like it a lot. But you just can't get it year round. It's a seasonal kind of thing, and so I get it. And Phil B, not only did he bring me this, he also left a case of Sam Adams Oktoberfest at my front door because he knew that I was probably getting low on it. So he brought that also. Phil says about 15 more minutes of smoking them chicken wings. Mimi Al says buffalo wings are the best. I don't know. I mean, I think it's all about taste buds. Problem I have with buffalo wings is most of them I've ever had, and I don't know if I've had the original, but they're a bit too spicy for me. I mean, they're hot. And I don't know what kind of hot sauce that these restaurants use around here on them. Maybe they use the wrong one. I don't know. But here lately, I've been getting chicken wings. Actually, I only get them at about two different places because everybody else makes, how do I put it so you'll understand? They make crappy chicken wings. So the two places that I do get them once in a while, one is Mallory Country Club. I haven't had them there for a while, so I assume they still make them the same. They were good. And also, I got them at, and where did I get them last time? And they were pretty good. I told Sue, these are pretty good. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember now. Shoot. I'll have to ask her. Because my number one criteria about any kind of chicken, I don't care what kind of chicken, is it's got to be crispy on the outside. If you can take your finger and move that skin around, even if the chicken's done, if you can move that skin around, I don't want it. It just reminds me of raw chicken. I just don't want it. I won't eat it. And just like, speaking of that, do you remember a couple weeks ago we were talking out here and I had said something about one thing I've learned about traveling the highways years ago as an over-the-road trucker? There are just certain foods I stay away from because I find on the road that stuff is what will make you sick. If you're going to get sick, that stuff will get you. And one of them was lettuce. I said, I never eat lettuce on the road, ever. Because you just don't know, unless you've been to the fields in California and watched them pick the lettuce and what goes on out there. It's not washed. You might think it is, but it's not washed. And you're going to get sick. And so I just don't do it. Well, was it last week or this week? Last week. Last week. They're having a big problem at Wendy's hamburger joints in certain areas of the country, probably, maybe all of them, I don't know. And the people are getting sick eating their hamburgers. And they've traced it back to, guess what? Lettuce. They think it's the lettuce that goes on Wendy's hamburgers that's making people sick. And so they were investigating to find out where the lettuce came from and also to find out if the lettuce was pre-washed before they used it on their hamburgers. So Sue brings me home, because I've got to tell you, Wendy's hamburgers to me, for the money, some of the best hamburgers around, in my opinion. I love them. She brings me one yesterday. She went out shopping or whatever. She brings me one. And I looked at her, I said, did you tell them leave the lettuce off? And she said, I didn't tell them anything. Why? I said, you know they got this lettuce recall thing. And I said, you know how I am. I said, I'm not going to take a chance. I'm getting sick. And so I opened it up, and sure enough, there's a bunch of lettuce on there. And may I say, this lettuce did not look fresh at all. This lettuce was nasty looking. I gave her the hamburger back, and last I know, that hamburger's out there in the trash. I'm not eating that stuff. And I recommend, if you like Wendy's like I do, tell them to leave the lettuce off. Don't eat it until you find out that the problem has been rectified. Hey, Joan. Joan Clegg says hi. I got to have me another swig. Yeah, that's the only thing. Taking this lid off, it fits on her so tight, it doesn't come off real easy. But so far, it's staying cold. Hot Job says 90 days till we land in the villages for a 30-day visit. Well, good. At least you can come test it out and see what you think. It may be for you, it may not be for you. You never know. It ain't for everybody. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many thousands of emails I've received from people saying that they usually go something like this. Hey, we appreciate your videos. We learned a lot. We came down, checked the place out, and it just ain't for us. We just didn't care for this or that or whatever the case may be. And I say, hey, I don't sell houses here, so it doesn't break my heart at all. I'm not losing nothing other than maybe somebody watching my videos. But I've always said this place ain't for everybody. I mean, there's just certain things here you have to deal with. I mean, it's just what it is. We have deed restrictions. We do not have an HOA that rules anything around here. There is an HOA. It's hard for me to describe how it works. You can join the HOA, but it's voluntary. I think it's like $1 a month. It don't cost much. And it's all voluntary. There's also a VHA, Villages Homeowners Association, voluntary. But what we're actually ruled by is deed restrictions. And I think people get that mixed up because they're always sending me things. I don't want to live in an HOA community. We do have an HOA, but they don't rule this community. Your deed restrictions that you sign says that's what you're going to do or you should do. And that's where it gets into an argument. People will do things that's against their deed restrictions, and then when somebody complains about it, then they don't understand that. They don't understand why they can't do it. Because, to make it clear, all of the villages is what they call it here, is what they call a complaint-based community. What that means is, in short terms is, easy terms to understand is, you can break all the rules you want. Nobody's going to say a word to you until somebody complains. Once somebody complains, complaint-based community, once somebody complains, investigations start. If you're found to be out of compliance, then you have to get things rectified. And that also goes on pre-owned homes. Always know this. You buy a pre-owned home, and maybe everybody in the neighborhood liked that person. Maybe there's a violation on that property. But all the neighbors liked that person, so they didn't say anything. Now you buy the home. Now somebody's going to complain about whatever that violation is. You, as the new homeowner, are now responsible to putting the home back together with deed compliance. Now you may say that don't sound fair. I'm just telling you, that's the way it is. So make sure that everything on the home that you're looking at, hey, hire a home inspection, make sure all the little things are done that should be done before you buy it. If there's a way you can, and I see a business opportunity here for somebody, I'm not going to do it. Make sure that everything outside that house is within deed compliance. And every district has rules on how everything's supposed to be. You can't plant a tree within so many feet of a property line. You can't plant a tree on an easement. Common sense, right? But do you know where your easements are at? That kind of stuff. Because if a utility worker comes through your neighborhood and they're figuring on, say, tearing up, I don't know, a drainage line or something or do some work, you have a tree in the wrong place, They may make a complaint and force you to move the tree, or they may end up just taking your tree out, and you're not going to like it. But that's the way it is. And then the old excuse of, well, that's the way it was when I bought the house. Doesn't make no difference. So, and I also showed you guys on a video I done a long time ago where you can get every district rules and print them out if you want to. Maybe I'll do another video showing you that again. But yeah, print them out, look at them. If you're thinking about buying a home and say District 8, go print out District 8 rules and read them, see what it says. If you don't like it, move on to another district, because in district to district, some of the rules get tweaked a little bit. It's like here, you can't park a trailer in your driveway for no more than 72 hours. And that's basically for RVs. But if you're moving, you got a U-Haul trailer and you back it in a driveway, 72 hours is the limit. It's got to go. And that goes for what they call iPods or pods, whatever they are. Basically 72 hours and they're supposed to go. But apparently some neighborhood over in Osceola Hills, and I think I talked about it either last week or maybe this week on the news, he's got a business he's running out of his house, which is also against deed restrictions, but he's got a truck and a trailer. He's running probably some kind of remodeling type business. And they're complaining about the trailer parked in the driveway all the time. Well, the only response they got over there by their supervisors was, take it to the developer. I have never heard anybody use that before. I laughed because I have never heard that in my life. It sounds like somebody don't want to do their job, which you get that here a lot. So I'm going to watch that story and see how that turns out, because that just don't sound right to me. Take it to the developer. What? Janice Keller says, hi. When's Hot Job coming down here anyway? He says, 90 days. So 90 days would be September, October, coming down the last of November or the month of December, somewhere in that area. Yeah, the weather will be okay. A little chilly at night maybe, but the daytime weather will be okay. Melissa Lugers, I guess I'm saying that right. Luger says, hey, from Germany. Hey, Germany. My ex-daughter-in-law and her husband they were in Germany like 2 days ago for 3 days. Now I think they're in Austria. It's a vacation for them, and they're making some kind of a trip over there. I don't know what all they're doing or where they're going, but last I looked, I think they were in Austria, and then from there I don't know where they're going. So they're having a great time now. Germany. Just so you know, I do a Wednesday night live show with guests, and of course the chat's open, and we talk about some stuff and have some fun. We have a game. We give away prizes. The last Wednesday of each month. That's today. Today's the last Wednesday of this month, and it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have to do the math there between Germany and here, and I don't know what time that is where you're at. That might be at 3 in the morning. I don't know. But you are more than welcome to come to a show, and we look forward to seeing you there. Kim says, hi from Tennessee. Phil says, have a schnitzel for me, Melissa. Yeah, I've had some schnitzels. Schnitzel, is that right? Schnitzel? Am I saying that right? It kind of reminds me a little bit of what we used to, in Indiana, it's a deep-fried breaded tenderloin sandwich. And that's really about the closest thing here that I can find to that. But I got to tell you, she's brought some schnitzel. Schnitzel? Schnitzel. I think that's what it is. She's brought it home. One of them wasn't so bad, and I don't know where she got the other one, but I didn't like it at all. It had this really, I don't know, had a funny flavor to it, and I didn't like it. Probably in the breading, that'd be my guess. I'll tell you what, next time I go to Indiana or get up north, there's probably two things that I'm going to look for to bring some home. I'm going to go to the grocery store because, believe it or not, they had some frozen breaded tenderloin. You get beef or pork, either or. I like both of them. At the grocery store, they come in a box. I think there's like 5 in a box. I'm going to get about half a dozen boxes and bring them home. I'll get my cooler out, pack it with dry ice. I'll bring them home. Can't get it here. The other thing I'm going to bring home is when I get to the grocery store, if I can find them, you generally find them at Speedways, but you can't find them at some grocery stores. I'm going to look for Red Hot Riplets. It's a specific potato chips. They're kind of red. They're rippled chips. They're a little spicy. Yeah, they're a little spicy, but they've got a flavor, man, that's just unbelievable, and I like them. And the other potato chip that I like, the hard part with that one is the potatoes they use, but I still like them, is Grippos. And you can't hardly get them anywhere except Ohio, maybe Kentucky, parts of Indiana area, unless they've really branched out. That was in that area. That's about the only place you found them. And it's kind of like breaded tenderloins. You can't find them things everywhere. Down here, when I first moved here, nobody knew what I was even talking about. Until finally, enough people started asking about it that Ramshackles started serving breaded tenderloin sandwiches in their bar. So I do like going to Ramshackles once in a while. Problem there is parking. It can be horrendous sometimes. And their breaded tenderloins ain't very big, but they're good. So I go there once in a while. And there's a restaurant over at Belle Glade, FMK Foods. They got everything anymore. It's like a monopoly here. They were making breaded tenderloin sandwiches. Sue called me up once. They had a ladies' lunch over there, and she says, "You want me to bring you home a breaded tenderloin sandwich? They got it on the menu." I said, "Yeah." So she brings it home. I look at this thing thinking, "What the hell's this?" She said, "That's a breaded tenderloin sandwich." She said, "I knew you wasn't going to like it." She said, "I didn't know they was going to do all that." This thing, for Indiana people, this thing was disgusting. It had pickles all over it, all kinds of dill pickles all over it. It had, what else was it? It had cheese. On the top of it was like a white cheese. On the bottom of it was a regular, like all-American cheese melted all over it. Some other stuff, too, I can't remember. It was disgusting. It ended up in the trash, too. Pauline says, "Hi, everybody." Bill Afternoon says, "Hi from Northeast Ohio." I used to go to Youngstown once in a while up there. I think it was Youngstown. Isn't that where the first TA truck stop as you come out of Pennsylvania and you come into Ohio? And at the time, it was billed as one of the largest TA truck stops in the United States. This is back when Jerry Reed and them really run the place. I used to stop there a lot. I like that place. I don't know if it's still there or not. It's funny when I travel in the motorhome, no matter where we go, if I'm on a highway, it just comes back to me that I used to stop at this place or that place, and then I have a look for it. I'm looking out for it, thinking I may stop there and get some gas, or I may stop there and go in and get a cup of coffee, just kind of reminisce a little bit. And then how many of these places I used to stop at are either gone or different name, remodeled to the point where I don't recognize it, or there was a lot of building that built around it. It's, as you get older, man, things change. John and Jane R. says, "Do you ever think the developer will build a country club south of 44? Well, yeah, they announced that years ago. I done a video on it when I played golf down there. I actually went by the area back when it was really just a field. And I showed where it was going to be. And I can't remember what the name of it was or the name they were talking about naming it back then. Seems like everything down there's got an animal name, like gray squirrel, red fox, stuff like that. And I want to say, I could be wrong, that either the country club was going to be called the Wolf Country Club, or maybe one of the 9 holes was going to be called the Wolf, something like that. But it's going to be, I can't think of the name of the road, but it's going to be down that road that follows the golf cart trail that follows, I think, Megason Road south of Warm Springs Avenue. And it goes down there quite a ways. And then they're going to build, I think, doctor offices down there. Get the map out and find it. It's going to be doctor offices down there. Somewhere down there is supposed to be the country club, or was at one time announced to be a country club down there. I don't think they're going to have near as many there as they do up here. That's just my guess. I don't know that. But just from what I'm seeing, the type of building going on down there, which you got Sawgrass, you've got that little entertainment area over there where the lunch trucks are at, whatever that's called over there. What's something on the green. Anyway, wherever that's called over there, I don't think anything's going to go over there. So it looks like instead of using a lot of property to put golf courses on, they're going to use less of that property to build more houses on. And maybe they just feel like there's enough country clubs up here to suffice everybody. I don't know that. But I do know that at one time, yes, there was talk about putting a golf course down there. And actually, I think I'd done a video where I put the video map on a large screen TV in my studio, and I stood in front of it with my finger pointing at stuff when they were still building Fanny. And they had this big map of what's going on down there. And I think I was showing that the country club is supposed to be in this area right here. But anyway, there was talk about it. Now, whether they build it or not, I don't know. But I don't see why they wouldn't. If it's a moneymaker. If it's not a moneymaker, then they probably won't. Must be a house for sale back here. I'm just seeing a lot of cars here that I don't recognize at all, and they're all going down this road. That guy just came by here, went down there, turned around, and came back again. Must be a house for sale back here. Honey barbecue wings are the best. I don't know if I've had honey barbecue or not. I have had, boy, my memory anymore. When I see it on the menu, I recognize the name. I get them down at Gators once in a while when I'm down there. I used to get them a lot at Evans Prairie, but since their waitresses have left, I can't get them the way I want them now. Oh my gosh. I can't remember. The way I liked them here at Evans Prairie, when our favorite waitresses still worked there, this is before COVID, that's why they're all gone, was when our golf group would show up, there could be 30, 40, 50 of us there. And these 2 girls took care of all of us all the time. And I would order my chicken wings with that flavor on it. I can't think of the name of it now, or whatever it was. And I had to talk to her at first, but once they knew what I wanted, after that, if I ordered them, they knew exactly what to do, and I didn't have to ask them again. But I'd ask for them to be double dipped. And she said, "You mean double dipped in the sauce?" I said, "No. Here's what I want you to do, is I want you to cook them, deep fry them, that they do, or whatever they do. And then I want you to put the sauce on it. And then I want you to dip it back down in the deep fryer again for another 30 seconds and pull them out. That cooks that flavor. It sears it right in the skin and makes it a little extra more crispier." I said, "That's what I really like." She said, "I never heard of that." She said, "I don't know if the cook will do it or not. Like put that sauce in the deep fryer. I guess it makes her oil dirtier or something." I said, "Well, see if he will." So she comes back and she said, "Yep, he said he'd do that for you." I said, "Okay, let's try that and see how that works out." And she brought them out to me. The cook actually even came out. He said, I just want to know if that's what you're looking for. And I took a bite of it and I thought, oh man, this is it. This is it. Remember this because this is the way I like it. And so every time I went in there after that, I'd order like a 10 chicken wing dinner. And, they knew how I wanted it. And that's the way I got it. Now, since everybody's gone, the cook's gone, everybody's gone, COVID, they're gone. Everybody's gone. I don't know where they went. They're all working somewhere else because all the people that's there now, when you ask about getting them double dipped, you have to explain it to them. They go back and see the chef. He comes back, and then the manager comes out. It gets into a thing. And so I just don't even mess with it anymore. Pauline says hi. Well, I hope that answers your question about the country club. There's always been talk about building that one country club anyway. I've not heard any more about any more country clubs, but I have heard talk about that one. Now, whether they've scrapped it, I don't know. But I don't know why they wouldn't, because in the wintertime when the snowbirds are here, all these country clubs are usually swamped every day. You can't hardly get a tea time at all. And then the other problem with it is, as they get more and more popular, especially in the wintertime, he's initiating things like buying memberships to play, to get priority tea times. Well, basically, priority means to get any tea time in the wintertime. Used to, all the swimming pools were open to residents. And then they started saying, well, if the swimming pool's next to a country club, you got to have a priority pass to use that pool now. So it's all about dollars and cents. I'm not complaining about it, but I think the problem is when you first move in here, it's you see how things are, and that's what makes you determine whether I want to buy a home there. I like this place. I like I can do this. I like I can do that, and you buy a home. 5 years later down the road, they figure out, well, they can get more money out of you by charging you money for this, and that this might be that one thing that you really like. Now, in order for you to do it, you got to buy a pass or a membership. That's what irritates people. It's kind of like going down to the squares during a special event. Squares has always been open to all the residents and their guests. Actually, they're open to the public, free. 4th of July celebrations, Christmas tree lighting parties, those kinds of things. And was it a couple of years ago? Maybe they did it last year. I'm not sure because I kind of lost interest in the whole thing. But the family, the 4th generation running this place, decided that you could buy these special tickets at the square for these events for so much money. And look at here. Look at there. He hates it when I point the camera at him. That's my chicken wings coming right there. He hates it. Come on over here. Are you with DoorDash?
Yeah. You said Sue was home?
No, she's at the ladies' lunch.
Oh. Well, I heard you say Sue was home.
No, she's not home yet. She left earlier today for ladies' lunch. I don't know why she left so early, but she left earlier today.
Is the door unlocked?
Yeah, it's unlocked.
I'm going to go put this in the fridge.
Oh, okay. Ooh, they look good. Ooh, they look hot. Ouch. Mmm. I'm sorry. Whoop, let me turn this back around. I forgot. They fall off the bone. Oh, yeah. think he's coming out the garage door. What are you dragging in there?
What?
Oh, more.
How much of a delay is there between your talking and me listening?
Huh?
What? There's a delay because I'm hearing you in there, but you weren't saying.
There's always a delay. I don't know how long. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What do you want this?
You can just say anywhere, Phil. I'll get it. God, he brought me some more Sam Adams. Maybe I can turn this around. You guys can see him better. I don't know. Let me turn this around. Everybody's watching you. How many did you bring me? Okay. Good. I appreciate it, Phil.
Well, it's good to get that time of year.
Yeah, you're right. It is. They only make that a couple. All right, October. Well, they probably make it all summer long and then sell it in October. I've lost my chat. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay. He goes in the garage door and he comes out the front door. He's like a child wandering around the house looking for trouble.
No, I know where.
What do you got on your arm? You got something stuck to your arm?
This?
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Well, you got to keep an eye on your blood or your.
It's a flash glucose monitor.
Oh, is it? I got a sister-in-law that wears something. I don't know how they work, but it keeps track of her. Well, she always tells me sugar levels. Maybe that's her glucose. I don't know.
Yeah, I turned my volume up so you won't get feedback.
So she's got a little thing though in her somewhere, and this thing will tell that thing she's low on this glucose or sugar or whatever it is, and it automatically will inject whatever she needs.
Right.
But she has to go in like.
Oh yeah, no, that's a continuous glucose monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's had it for years though.
The difference between a flash and a continuous is this reads when you ask it to. So you're shooting out the back?
Yeah. Can you see yourself?
Not yet.
I never know where it's pointed at. I just turn it and hope for the best.
Some bug sitting in your chair there with big dark eyes.
Have you ever seen in your area? This is the first time I've seen this. A true lizard.
No.
I did today.
Or what I normally see.
Yeah, well, geckos. You know, lizards have like a snake tongue.
Bifurcated tongue.
You know, whatever they call that.
Yeah.
I had one on my screen.
Yeah, I heard you say that earlier.
I took pictures of it. Hopefully it come out okay.
I was listening to you on the way up.
Oh, okay. You should not be playing with your phone while driving. It's unsafe.
I wasn't. It was sitting in my cup holder. This is my mobile Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So I got Wi-Fi wherever I go now.
Well, you should have that on your phone.
I've got
data
satellite and whatever, but yeah, now I've got.
Does data not work if you not have a cell signal?
Correct. When I was in Texas visiting my father, we wanted to FaceTime.
Right.
And my Explorer at the time didn't have FaceTime, so I bought the mobile Wi-Fi, and then we could FaceTime because it's like being on the internet.
Well, you know, in my new car, we're supposed to have like a Wi-Fi thing in there. They gave us like 6 months for free or something. I have no idea how it works.
Just out of curiosity, I'm curious if people can hear me through your microphone so that you're only getting one side of the conversation.
Hey, you heard Phil's question? Can you guys hear Phil talking over there in the background? My microphone's on me and he's way over there. Can you guys hear him?
Take my bug eyes off and put my real glasses on.
See, I'm still way up here. I haven't even gotten halfway through half the questions.
I'll stay at the bottom.
Can I hear you?
They say my voice is too low.
Your
voice? I can
voice?
speak up.
Either that or I can always lay this halfway between us. Hopefully they can hear.
Well, now this says the voice.
Yours is too low?
No, this says 13 days ago, so I'm wondering what's going on here.
Well, because you're so far away.
I'm going to close this down and restart it.
I'm going to lay this over here.
Okay, now I can see myself.
You guys let me know that you can hear me.
And Barbara says she can hear me fine. Martin says loud and clear. Thank you.
And make sure they can hear me too. And I'll just lay this or hook this over in here somewhere.
Mimi, I'm Phil, but I am also Abu Ibn Bill, son of and father of Bill.
Oops, I just dropped something.
Your phone.
I did. I just dropped my phone. Oh.
Mimi, like the wings, Buffalo, New York is too far to drive to deliver beer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going there up there either. If I ever am in Buffalo, though, there's a famous place out there that it's a touristy stop now, but it's supposed to be the very first place where buffalo wings was ever made.
Yep.
And I'll have to stop there for lunch, right?
Yeah, okay. Let me see if I'm blue now. Oh, my nuts are soaking, by the way. And now nobody's saying anything.
I don't know. I'm still clear up here. I just go through them. Oh, I see WrestleMania's on there.
Mm-hmm.
Must be lunch. He's supposed to be at work. I can't believe somebody from Germany's watching me.
Guten Abend, wie geht's?
You served in Germany one time, didn't you?
I was born there.
Oh, you was born there.
My father served there
Okay.
a couple of times. And I visited there occasionally.
And you ended up serving where in Alaska?
Eielson, near Fairbanks.
Okay, Fairbanks, Alaska. How long was you there?
Well, I was there as a kid, graduated from high school there. I was there from 71 to 74. And then I was stationed up there from November of 1995 until September of 1997.
So you was in the military there for 2 years.
Right.
Where'd you end up retiring from?
Dayton, Ohio, Wright-Patterson.
Okay. Wright-Patterson, that's where they got the frozen Martians in there,
We
right?
can't talk about that. I'm sorry.
That's the secret?
Because it was my organization that did Project Blue Book, the one that I retired from the second time. I retired from active duty in 2003 in December. And then I retired from civil service. And on the 29th of September of 2018, not that I remember it well, because that's officially the day that I started driving 907 miles down Interstate 75 here to close on my house a week later.
Ah, that was a good timing.
It was.
I had a friend of mine, his son was in the Air Force, and he was at Wright-Patterson,
Mm-hmm.
I think, when he finished his tour. I think it was Wright-Patterson. But anyway, he used to dick with me all the time. I'd say, isn't that where they're supposed to have the flying saucer or the dead Martian people or whatever from Area 51? And he goes, same thing you did. He just looked real straight. He goes, I can't talk about that.
We can neither confirm nor deny the presence of nuclear weapons on any military installation.
I asked him one time, I said, hey, if I show up, I said, can you give me a tour of that place and take me into these buildings? No, I can't. Those are top secret buildings. You can't get inside them.
I didn't know anything about it.
He didn't either. He was just pulling my chain.
Anchor Bar is what Mimi said in Buffalo, New York. If you want to go for the original Buffalo hot wings, Anchor Bar.
That's in Buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew there's a place there somewhere. I seen it on TV at the Guy Ferrari. Is that his name with the wild hair? He went into this place with the original, supposedly original. Yeah. So I said, well, if I get up there, I got to go.
Put the camera back on you. Nobody wants to see me. They're here to listen to you and see you.
Look here.
Until Sue gets here.
I told you he was. It's a dude. Only have a minute. I have to go back to work.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I vaguely remember working. Yeah.
That's what I told him. I said, oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting that you guys work.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa Eric says hi.
Marsha is on. Hello. Yeah, people keep telling me I should
Fish,
open.
Fisherman 12 says chicken wings, beer, and Porch Settin. Man, you're living the life.
There you go. If it was just a few degrees cooler.
Well, I've already eaten one, or
Oh, did
part
you?
of one. Oh, yeah.
Was it
I
any good?
dropped a little piece of it down there.
Yeah. How is it?
Falling off the bone, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think just enough of the smokiness where it's not overpowering. Is there a seasoning on this?
Yes.
What kind?
On one side is just garlic powder.
That's probably what I'm tasting.
And then on the other side is garlic powder and hickory smoke salt.
I think I'm tasting
335 degrees, 45 minutes per side. Fall off the bone, crispy skin.
Why do you use to smoke them?
Why?
What?
Oh, what do I use?
I use mesquite or
I use hickory pellet. It's a pellet smoker. I use hickory.
hickory?
Because I prefer hickory.
I bet your neighbors hate you.
No, the one's driving down from Chicago this weekend because he's still part-time up north in the Chicago area, Aurora, Illinois. Yeah. You want me to go get you a paper towel?
Okay. I'm okay. Sue will wash it.
Finger looking good.
Sue will wash it. Did you see the flood in Mississippi the other day?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God.
I try not to watch the news anymore.
I don't watch very much news at all because it's just all depressing as hell and it's all one-sided because it's all politics anymore. It's all it is. I get so sick of it.
Yeah.
But I was watching, I forget what news it is, but they don't really talk politics. They talk about the events of today, like the fires, earthquakes, whatever the case may be. And it had something to do with some rainstorm or something that came from Texas area across the southern and then went up. Mississippi, what town is it? I want to say around Montgomery, maybe. Or maybe no, it's Mississippi. Anyway, Jackson,
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
That's the capital.
They're telling everybody not to come in town, stay away, don't drink the water.
Yeah.
One American got orders says, don't even brush your teeth with this water.
Right.
Because the treatment plant is failed.
Yeah.
And they were showing the town. And remember the Kentucky flood?
Mm-hmm.
Looks worse than that.
Oh, wow.
It just looks like a big lake.
That was bad. Yeah.
And then when you look at that, and then relate that to Lake Mead.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, Lake Mead's back up now because of...
It's up a foot, I think, right? Or 2 feet?
It's up a little more than that. It's just a few inches below normal levels, they would say.
They must have got a lot of rain now.
They got, the rain in Vegas and the rain in California, all of that washed into the Colorado River and is starting to fill up Lake Mead again. So they're burying the dead bodies again underwater.
They're not going, what? They're not doing that. They're taking them out.
Well, they're picking them out when they find them. But
they've already identified one.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, I don't know, good, I guess.
Yeah. It's something for somebody's relative somewhere.
Yeah, but apparently this guy, they know how he died, and it wasn't a mafia hit.
Oh, okay.
His son, when he was real little, had a boat, and he took the boy up to shore or whatever, and his dad said, I'm going to go out and make a lap, and I'll be right back. And then his dad was hollering for help. He was in the water. Nobody could get to him in time, and then he disappeared, and for 20-some years now, they didn't know where he went. Well, they found bones, and I imagine DNA here.
Yeah.
And they didn't say how much of the body. Maybe it's an elbow. I don't know, but yeah. But
doesn't take much.
Yeah, they found his dad, and the kid said, "Well, he said, at least I know now," because he said, "I've been holding out hope for 20-some years that he was still alive somewhere." You know, people do that. I think they don't never want to admit.
Yeah.
You know, I've got an uncle and a bunch of friends that are still missing in action in Vietnam, and they're still listed that way. And if you listen to the people from Vietnam, I don't pay much attention to it anymore, but they still talk about, well, they had prisons out in the middle of the jungle, and they're still holding these people out there, and our government won't do anything about it. I'm saying by now, there ain't nobody being held out there.
No.
They're long gone. And the odds are they probably got blown up by a grenade in 100 different pieces or something, and we're never going to find them. They're gone. The two of the guys that I went to school with were twins, Mick and Rick Hearns. And one of them went to Vietnam, and then the other went to Vietnam. I don't know how that happened because I understand there was flipping rules about that, but they both went, and to this day, they're both reported as missing in action. And the thing I don't like about that is the Vietnam Wall. We know these people are dead by now, right? their names are not on that wall.
Yeah.
Because they're still listed as missing in action.
Right.
You think that's right? I don't think it's right.
Well, if their names aren't on the wall, then their family should be being compensated for whatever their salary was at the time.
I'm not going to argue about it. I mean, that's fine. I understand. But it just comes to a point, I think, where you have to say,
A statute of limitations, or
yeah, because how long has that been? I think statute of limitations is 7 years, and you can declare somebody dead.
Yeah.
When was the Vietnam War over?
Technically, sometime in '75. I think.
Let's say 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Skip.
Well, I shouldn't bring that up.
7 years out. 57 years ago.
It's a long time, right?
Yeah. Well, no, 75. So not 57. It would be math in public. How embarrassing.
Yeah.
So not quite 50.
Yeah, it's amazing to sit and look at stuff, and I got a YouTube channel that I watch. It comes on every week, and it reports significant deaths of the week.
Yeah.
And of course, this week I can't think of the actor's name. He's gone. The lady from Australia is gone.
Olivia
Newton-John. And anyway, they bring up names, and I look at, oh crap, I remember watching him on TV,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they're all gone. And I don't know, it's kind of sad to watch that stuff. I know it's just part of the time, but you look at that going, damn, my number's getting close.
Tim Wiley asks, what are the top 3 things you miss about Indiana?
What?
What are the top 3 things you miss about Indiana?
Well, first of all, my friends that I work with are all from Indiana. And that's the first thing you miss when you retire, generally speaking, is all the people you worked with for many, many years.
See, that was your problem. You had friends. I didn't have any, so I don't miss anybody.
Well, I had what I'll call working acquaintances, but I did have some friends. And I guess everybody that determines what is a friend compared to a working acquaintance. Well, a friend of mine many, many years ago, he's gone now, he told me, here's how I classify a friend. I never thought about it until he said that. Anybody can come in my house, walk in the door without knocking, go to the refrigerator and pull out a drink or whatever, and come and sit down and watch TV with me, and they don't have to be invited.
Right.
That's a friend.
Yeah.
And when I think about it that way, I only had like 2.
Oliver J.H. said, hi, worked in the Villages about 23 years ago for an air conditioning company called Munns. Are they still in the Villages? And I replied to him, yeah, they are. But
Yep.
yeah,
That's who installed my stuff here.
one of my neighbors has got Munns for their service.
Yeah, I think Munns made a few $1 million around here.
I use DeSantis, not the governor, but the air conditioning company, which there's probably a relationship there somewhere. But DeSantis Heating and Air Conditioning is not directly related to Governor Ron DeSantis.
There is a DeSantis. Much just one over here on 301. They do a big business here too.
Mm-hmm.
Suncool?
Yeah.
Suncool.
Suncool or Suncoast.
I see them around quite a bit. I'm getting real close to where I'm going to get somebody to come out here and give me an estimate for putting insulation above my lanai and putting in probably an air conditioner split out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's just for the way mine's set up, I think the split would work out pretty well. He's got a split over here in his, and when it's running out here, man, I can't hardly hear it.
Yeah.
Very quiet. And I like the idea that you can set the temperature for that room.
Yeah. I think I need my beer of the day. A dark, light, slightly sweet beer.
So did Monica get her shopping done?
She did. She likes to go to certain things from Winn-Dixie that they sell. I went to Walmart this morning. And then Publix in between.
Don't you hate going to Walmart?
Between 6 and 7 in the morning, I don't.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I lived in Brownsburg, Indiana, and I did one particular run I had, there was a lot of times I'd come home at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. So, and Sue was still living in northern Indiana because we were trying to sell that house up there.
Mm-hmm.
I was working full-time down here, and then I'd go back up there in the weekends, you know, to help out. So on the way home, and I kept my groceries down to a bachelor type in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Canned soup,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. That's what I bought. Or TV dinners or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I found that on the way home sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning, that was really a good time to go grocery shopping at Walmart, because that Walmart there was open 24/7.
Well, the one here was too until COVID hit. Yeah.
I don't know if they're all like that anymore or not because of COVID. I think
restricted hours.
Yeah, and I really hate that because I thought the 24-hour thing was great.
It was. Yeah, 4 in the morning, walk through Walmart.
Yeah. Guy says, I don't know how you can stand it. He said, I went there one time early in the morning, and he said, there was stuff sitting in the aisle, skids and everything else. I said, that don't bother me none.
Yep.
The fact that nobody's in there. The thing that really got me more than anything, I suppose, they didn't have self-checkout up there at that time, and I wouldn't use it anyway, is the fact 3 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to have 20 cashier people working.
Right.
It's usually one.
Well, they had 1 10 items or less lanes open, and everything else was self-checkout.
Well,
and it's that way till about 8 or 8:30. That's the Walmart on Wildwood, the Super Walmart.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem that I would have had up there is the self-checkout, and they didn't do that up there. But the lady that did run the cash registers at that hour in the morning, she just didn't stand there when there's nobody around. She had other duties. Maybe she would help stock shelves. She kept an eye on it up there. If somebody like me showed up, and she would just yell. There's nobody else in the store, right? She would just yell at me, "Be there in a minute." The other thing you miss when you retire, I'll say this, that was number one that I missed. The number two thing that I missed when I retired is my own barber that I'd had for many, many years. You just call up. Didn't really need an appointment, but I'd call her and say, hey, how busy are you? She'd say, come on in, go get you. And I didn't have to tell her what I wanted. She knew what I wanted. It was all that. And then probably number three thing that I miss is knowing the man. If I needed a plumber, I knew who to call. Okay, if I needed a garage mechanic, I knew who to call.
Yeah, but you know who to call now. You just have to rebuild that Rolodex. Well, most people our age will understand what a Rolodex is.
Right. That's true. I do know some people to call about some things, but sometimes I do wonder, and I've always said that I'm probably not getting the best deal money-wise, but I know that who I call is going to get the job done.
If they're reliable and dependable.
They're reliable, dependable, and they're going to do the job.
Yep.
And so, that's just me. But up there, when it comes to like a car mechanic, you know how mechanics are. You can get a really good one, or you can just get one that'll turn your life into a nightmare. And I had a guy I went to all the time, and I don't care what I went up there for. Anything from wheel bearings to a funny sound in the motor, it didn't make any difference. He always figured it out. And I just liked the guy.
Marsha says, I know you don't want to talk about getting a dog, but have you thought about adopting one of those beagle puppies rescued from that lab?
No. Short answer.
Okay.
Beagles, I've had beagles in my lifetime. Beagles have one problem. They like to go.
Oh.
You open that door, and if you ain't watched them, that nose hits the ground, and they're gone, and they ain't going to hear a thing. And we have rabbits here.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll see a rabbit, and they'll be gone.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to control it whatsoever. And I can't have a dog like that because Sue's the one that walks them.
Yeah.
And beagles get to yanking and pulling on her. They knock her down.
Right.
So I can't have anything like that. And beagles also have a tendency to want to howl. And, I don't want to disturb my neighbors at 3 o'clock in the morning when the dog smells something outside and starts howling at it.
Or hear something. Yeah.
Or hear something.
Yeah. This Mindy says you need a service provider for your home. Call your realtor friends. They know them all. Well, you can call Ira if you needed to. But again, you and Sue have already figured out who you need to call for service.
What does she mean, service provider? My internet?
No. If you need a plumber or an electrician or somebody like that.
Yeah. If you got something under warranty, though, she is correct. You call down to customer service down there, and if that item's still under warranty, they'll give you the phone number of the person that installed it.
Yep.
And I have done that a couple of times, and I will say, for us anyway, it was like immediate service right away, and I was glad to have it.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I didn't like, and I did call down and talk to him about it, that when we first bought this place, we had one circuit breaker. For some strange reason, it would go a couple of days, and then all of a sudden, it'd just go off. And it went off. Everything in the living room went off, including the TV. It just went off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go out there and I'd reset it, and it may be good for an hour, maybe good for a day.
Have you had Comcast drop or Xfinity drop your cable throughout the day?
3 o'clock in the morning, I have.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing upgrades.
Recently? Yeah. It's almost every morning when I get up now. The cable's got it. The cable box has got a C on it. It's died in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I generally don't get up that early, but yeah, when I was staying up late to do some editing or whatever, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning is my prime time to do that. Sue's in bed, I can sit there and do what I want, quiet, and then all of a sudden the internet's dropped.
Yep.
And it's gone, but I have my Verizon thing like what you got.
Yeah.
And so I connect everything to that, and but it's slower.
Right.
I use that a lot. Isn't that a shame? You got to have a backup for a backup.
Yeah, I can't get in touch with Infinity to tell them about my internet problem because I don't have any internet.
Yeah.
It's like, send me an email that tells me your email's not working.
Or somebody you're talking to on the phone says, hey, we'll send you this email with your paper. Just download it. You go, well, I ain't got no internet. I can't download anything.
Just Mindy, Verizon FiOS, I'm not sure. The only cable service you can get, unless it's Dish or some other over-the-air, is Xfinity, which is Comcast. They've sort of got a monopoly here in the villages.
They do. Kind of like some of these restaurateurs around here. They kind of got a monopoly down here. Everything down here's FMK. I read in the paper the other day where the 2Js that used to be up in Spanish Springs, that now it's called the Farm Shed.
Right.
You read it too?
No.
FMK's taking over that one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because the Farm Shed's moving out.
Wow.
So FMK, I swear, I don't like that because it's like they have a price. It's their Disney World, and so they can price anything they want. Because if you want to stay in the villages, that's what you're going to pay.
Well, that's why I cook.
I don't cook. Sue doesn't want to cook anymore.
Well, you just have to give me a ring and say, what are y'all having today?
We do go out.
Yeah.
I don't like to go out that much, especially now because everything's so darn expensive. And we went out to lunch. Well, you was there, Patreon lunch. Did you see how much my lunch was?
No.
$55. And not including tip.
That was you and Sue, right?
Me and Sue.
Right.
I have never paid $55 for lunch at a regular place.
Yeah.
And I told Sue, look at this. This is crazy. And she said, that's the way it is everywhere now.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess lunch is going to be out for a long time because I'm not paying that, every day.
Well, everybody will come here and I'll bring sandwiches.
Just have
bologna and cheese.
Yeah, we'll just have a pitch-in right here on my front porch on every Wednesday. Everybody just brings something here.
Don't park in the driveway, and we'll set up chairs.
Yeah, and we'll just have a talkathon. We got plenty of beer. Phil bought plenty. That house over there is going to be for sale here soon.
Is it? Yeah.
Not too long. Health reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice home. Truthfully, it's the same model as this, except that's stucco and this isn't. And I would seriously consider about buying that one because it's got a golf cart garage too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Over this one. The only thing that turns me off to the whole thing is the kitchen's right there where that window is, just like this one. And the street ends right there. And if you sit out here at night, the cars will go down this road, the headlights shine right on this here. I don't know. Is that a factor?
Nah, if you close the blinds at night.
I don't know. That's the only thing that bothers me. Well, that and they have kissing lanais in the back. I've seen it. I'm not big on that either.
Yeah. We've got the 7-foot privacy fence all around in the backyard. So
I love that.
Letting the dogs out. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is yours still considered a courtyard villa up in that area, or do they call it something else?
No, it's a courtyard.
Okay.
I don't remember the model name, but they don't make them anymore like that.
Yeah,
they're calling it something else now.
Yeah, down south, I still call them courtyards, but they hate it down south. People think you're insulting their home, and I'm not. It's the same design as courtyards, and they call them verandas. Not all verandas are built that way, but most verandas I looked at back there had the court in the back to extend. They may use vinyl fencing down there, but it's the same, thing.
Well, we just got vinyl fence on one side between us and the neighbors. Around the outside of it, we're on a corner lot. It's concrete.
Yeah, but it's nice to be able to let the dog out. You got to worry about it getting out.
Yep.
You can go outside and sit by your pool naked. Nobody will see you.
Yep.
It'd probably
until they fly their little drones in there. Yeah, but if somebody wants to see my naked butt that bad, go for it. I can
hear this kid now flying his drone going, "Oh my God! I didn't realize no person looked like that."
Your day's coming, young man. Dave Dempsey says the potluck at your place is a great idea.
Yeah, let's have it. Bring it on. I got the beer. Well, if Phil brings the beer, I got the
Some
beer.
beer, yeah.
He'll bring a roasted something or other, and
How are y'all fixed for that Moscato wine?
oh, you mean the stuff you bring?
Yeah.
Oh God, it was gone a long time
Was
ago.
it really?
Oh God,
Oh, damn. Okay.
Long time ago.
Oh, okay. I know that was.
I told
Sue's
Sue to
favorite.
check with the what's the name of that store? Wines Are Us or
Total Wines.
Total Wines?
Yeah, they're
about ordering a case of it, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she did, and they told her they couldn't order it or something. I don't know. I don't remember. California is a weird state. They have some weird rules out there.
Yeah.
Like, did you know? I think it's now. It's in effect now. If you want to buy a brand new diesel pickup truck, you cannot buy one in California.
Wouldn't want to. They put all that emissions crap
That's true.
on there. Yeah.
But I know a guy that had an RV, and I watched his YouTube channel, and he was talking about it. So he actually, what he done was, if I remember right, let me see if I got this right. I think he had to go to Arizona, buy the truck, come back to California. California refused to register it because of what it was and where it come from. And he had to do something. I forget what he had to do. But anyway, he had to go through some kind of a rigmarole thing to get license plates on this damn truck he owned. 2035, any RV that has a generator on it, gasoline or diesel generator on it, are not allowed to run it inside the state of California.
Yeah, Marsha here says, Skip, I am at war with AT&T. I have no cell phone service because they upgraded to 5G and they did not notify me. My phone is 4G and not compatible. Well, I had a 4G phone until about a month ago, and I upgraded to a 5G because my battery kept dying about every 4 or 5 hours. It wouldn't hold the charge.
Yeah.
So I have a 13 now, and yeah.
Yeah, and because of all the new ways they do things, it's the same way. You can't change batteries.
Yeah.
You got to take them in. And by the time you need a new battery, the phone itself is all wore out anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea of making a glass front that breaks, ingenious. They probably thought, well, that'll make us another $1 billion in another couple of years. People's going to break these all the time.
Or we'll charge insurance extra every month and then sell them these cases.
Oh, yeah, you can get that. The free replacement. One time in Indianapolis, you ain't going to believe this, I was mowing my grass, had my John Deere tractor out. I just got brand new glasses. Went in, all that stuff you got to go through. And I got the ones where the frames, if you bent them, they would go back into their, whatever, high dollar for them, right? But in a trucking company, that was good for me. I'm mowing. And I had in my pocket. When I was mowing, I very seldom wore them. And I had bent over. I did this a lot mowing. I'd bend over to get a tree limb, pick it up. It must have fell out of my pocket. And as I'm mowing, I heard something. I go, what the hell was that? And I looked back there. There's these glasses that I just picked up that day and just refused the free replacement insurance. And now, insurance paid for those, or a lot of it. I had to pay, I think, $500 for the frames, maybe, because they didn't pay, something like that. Now, I've got to get them replaced, and I got to pay all of it.
It just occurred to me, am I parked in the right place? Can Sue get in the garage when she comes home?
No, she's all right. She'll just park next door or something. There's nobody over there. We use that driveway.
Fred and Mary Ellen are gone.
Huh?
Fred and Mary Ellen.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
You know more about my neighbors than I do.
Well, you know, and Ann, we came over that one time. They had some sandwiches.
The only thing that I know about him is, apparently, she convinced him into finally retiring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which, you know, I don't know how old the guy is, but, you know, So he's retired. She told Sue their house in, where they live, in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, or someplace?
Philadelphia area, I think.
It's for sale. I assume it's sold now. I don't know that. And I think Sue told me that they're coming down here in September full time.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Well, full time until they start missing the grandkids and the kids. And yeah, that was a huge, I mean, they enjoy coming down here. But again, that's why most people, when they come down here, they miss the family.
Yeah.
And the family doesn't want to be down here from June until end of September.
Which is really kind of weird to me, because when my mom and dad was retired, and they had a little place down by Wachula, Florida. It was Snowbirds. And the kids are out of school in the summer. And so that's when we would take on vacations. It was always in the summer to take the kids with us. And we came down here in the summer, take them to Disney World, stayed over at mom and dad's, go to Disney World, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was hot. But you know, when you're only, I don't know, 28 years old, I didn't notice the heat all that much.
Yeah.
So when somebody today says, well, we don't want to come down in June because it's too hot, I just don't get it. Because when you're 20 years old, what are you doing complaining about the heat? Get your ass out of the house and get outside and mow the grass.
Mm-hmm.
I used to bale hay in the summer.
Different generations, Skip.
Oh, I'd reckon.
Barbara Ebner says she's with Sue. She's sick of cooking too.
Barbara Eden, what?
Barbara Ebner. I'm with Sue. Sick of cooking.
Yeah, Sue doesn't like cooking. So I do some for myself. Like this morning, I made a couple of eggs and some bacon, and that was it. If there's any leftovers in there, I'm pretty good at heating up leftovers. I don't mind that so bad.
There's chicken and noodles in there in a container.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to heat that back up. You know, I mean, I'm
good
at that.
It's still somewhat warm, but yeah.
But when it comes to ingredients and making your own stuff and all that kind of stuff, like if anything ever happens to Sue, that'll probably be my last homemade chicken and noodle dinner because I'm not going through all that. It takes her all day to make the noodles and let it sit.
It just took a couple hours this morning.
Yeah, I ain't doing all that. That ain't me. I'll find some woman that needs a man. And I'll have her cook for me.
There you go.
Somebody asked me one time. They don't get my sense of humor. A lot of people don't. Somebody asked me how me and Sue got married and why did we get married so young? We got married when we was 18. And I said, well, here's how we met. And the reason why we got married was because I couldn't afford a housemaid. You know, and this lady thought I was, she's shame on you. Your wife ought to just smack you up. She got really mad at me. My Lord, I was just joking.
Yeah. Hello, Joy. I'm sitting here porch sitting with Skip. Is your husband back from the villages, and how was his week here? Barbara Edner says cereal for you, Skip.
She what? I ain't even got that far down there yet.
Yeah, I'm at the bottom. I'm monitoring that stuff.
Germany is 6 hours ahead, so 7 o'clock here would be 2 o'clock in the morning there. That's probably too late for you to come into the W&L show, but just know you're invited if you want to come. Hey, Kevin. I'm just not getting there where Kevin signed on.
You got a while to go.
Charles Bremer says that Whiteston, New York is in Queens. So last week you didn't know where in New York it was. No, I'm not real familiar with New York State at all, really. In my travels as a trucker, I've been to Syracuse, I've been to Binghamton, I've been to Buffalo, I went to Bronx, New York once, and I swore then people in Bronx could starve to death before I ever come back. That was my whole feeling about it. And I thought the GW Bridge was the worst bridge I ever drove across and couldn't believe they charged a toll to get across it.
Did you even give them a Bronx cheer on the way out?
No, I didn't. I probably thought about it.
Yeah.
Jim Brown says he's watching us from his lanai down at the hammock. He'd be right in there with Jerry Bell. It's like what he does. He watches from his lanai.
Well, if they'd started up here when you said you had wings, then they could have had some.
Hey, all they got to do is get off their lazy butts, get in that golf cart, and run down that golf cart trail, and the golf cart trails end right here.
Yep.
Grandpa Eric says that Meadow 37 is making him do chair yoga. I don't know what that is.
That's where you lift yourself up and stretches, and that would be chair yoga.
Well, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting in my chair. And then sometimes I make old man noises getting up.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I hear about it, yeah, when that happens.
On my driveway, I think that's just regular paint. Romaldo did it. I think it's a special paint. It's not the kind of paint you would paint your walls in your house. And I don't think it's a paint you put on your house on the outside. It's some kind of a concrete paint. But I don't know exactly what it is. Um, but his company, I think, is D&D Design or whatever. Anyway, go back on the video where me and Sue was sitting out in Lanai, and we were giving, was we in Lanai or were we sitting out here? When I did that video giving out phone numbers on who we had used. Anyway, about a week or two ago, go find that video, play it, and if you're interested in this, Romaldo will come out and he'll give you a free estimate. Get prepared though; he's got a book of designs, unless you got your own custom design, and you can go through this book and pick out what you want, and then you can tweak it. We tweaked ours in the very center of our driveway. You'll see that round picture with the palm tree in the middle. I came up with that. By our front door is a square patch that has a funny design on it. It kind of looks like a floor mat to go in the house. I came up with that. So you can tweak it any way you want. I think for my house, the design and everything was, and I don't know what it is now. I had this done before COVID. I think it was $1,200 for the driveway and the sidewalk all the way to the front door.
And that was probably back 2018, 2019. It still looks good.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
2018, 2019, somewhere like that. And then the very next year, you have him come back and he seals it. First, he washes the whole thing, and then he seals it. And then on the third year, he comes back, he seals it again. Each time he seals it, it's $100.
Mm-hmm.
And after he sealed it that last time, he told me that, he said, unless I had a problem, he said, I didn't need to call him anymore.
Yeah.
So that was the process. And it's about, I'll say 5 years old now. And we haven't had any problem with it. I know it won't last forever, but so far we haven't had any problem with it. There's no chipping, there's no fading, there's no stains. So I'm good with it. Epoxy would probably be better if you get good epoxy. Don't get the epoxy you get from like Lowe's Lumber. That's not the good shit. I got that in my garage, and I'm just here to tell you it's not the good stuff. I would say talk to Romaldo or some other driveway design person to find out what. There's also there's a texture that they put on. I don't know what it's called. We got a couple neighbors that's got it, and they put it on where when you look at it, you actually see the ripples of the rocks.
Oh, okay.
And it's poured on your driveway, and then of course you got the pavers.
Mm-hmm.
is a thing. I've heard pros and cons about the pavers. One of them is over a period of time the glue comes loose on the pavers.
Yeah, you got to reseal them.
You got to reseal it. To me, that's kind of a minor thing, I think, but they do it. So you got options about driveway design down here, and you don't have to do any of it if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked me once about what was the insurance in my house. My insurance never went up because of the driveway. I don't see where that driveway would have anything to do with the cost of your house anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the house gets on fire, the driveway stays the same.
Yeah. Well, burn marks.
The only thing I worry about now is this roofing thing that they keep talking about. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm coming up to 10 years in a couple more years.
Mine's the original roof.
Yeah.
And I had one of the local roofing companies that have the foreign labor, and he came by and took pictures of the roof and showed where the zigzags, and there were some loose shingles and whatnot. And this was back in the spring. Wasn't hot out like it is now. And my insurance company, USAA, came out and sent an adjuster out to look at the roof. And he was familiar with roofs. And he said, he's right. But you know what? When it gets hot outside, these things will reseal themselves. They're supposed to do that. And none of your shingles are broken or damaged or bent. And if you needed a roof replaced, that would be it. And I said, fine with me. I don't need to. I don't need to try to engage in any fraud, insurance fraud, but
Yeah.
having a roof put in that I don't need.
I've just heard a lot of complaints about people. I guess there's a total now in the state of Florida. That's not just, sometimes people think the Villages is the state of Florida. We're just a small section. But in the state of Florida, I think there's 12 major insurance companies now that's decided they're getting out of the home insurance business.
Mm-hmm.
But not just here. It's also in Mississippi, and they just got flooded, and maybe some other places too.
Yeah, go figure. Hurricane Alley.
Hurricane Alley.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. They're getting away from it.
Hello.
They've done this once before. But then didn't Governor DeSantis pass some laws here a few months ago about this roofing?
Anti-solicitation of roof replacements, yeah.
But it doesn't have anything to do with the insurance company then. They can still do what they want.
Right.
Well, we'll see.
Well, there might have been some laws on replacing roofs that were less than, unless they're actually damaged, and then nobody can legislate.
I don't see how. If you have a brand new house that's only, say, 10 years old,
mm-hmm.
you have a 35-year shingle on that house with no damage,
right?
How can the insurance company force you to tear that off? I understand legally they might have that right,
yeah,
but I just don't see it, because to me that's like Marxism. We say, well, we just don't like your vinyl siding. We want it all ripped off of there and put new vinyl siding on there.
Mm-hmm.
But where's it end?
Yeah.
If they were going to end with me, my house is paid for. I'll say, okay, fine. I don't want any insurance in my house anymore. Just leave me alone.
Self-insure?
Yeah, I'll just self-insure myself.
Yep. William Rizzo says they're in the process of getting their lanai painted, 29 by 9 feet, I guess, and $560, which sounds very reasonable.
Yeah, well, when I said $1,200 something, that also included my lanai floor.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot, and my back porch.
Yeah.
All that was done at the same time.
Do you have texture in the garage?
I got epoxy in the garage.
Right.
That's different.
Yeah.
And I had another guy do it. I wouldn't recommend this guy to nobody
mm-hmm.
because what he does, he went to Home Depot, bought that stuff in a bucket. After talking to Romaldo, he said, no. He said, you have to go get commercial stuff, whatever it was. He knew what I was talking about.
Right.
And as soon as you looked at it, he goes, that's from Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
So I see this all the time.
Yeah.
I said, oh, God, I wish I'd have known then, but I don't. So
next door, the application, we have it for up north there by the Savannah Center, and somebody made a post the other day that there was a woman living in the Villages in one of the neighborhoods up north, had a guy come by, and they had a palm tree between their houses, and he said, well, my normal job is I'm a fireman for one of the local fire departments, and I'm going around inspecting palm trees, and the one between your house is a hazard. I mean, it's going to fall over and it's going to damage one of the houses, and then there's going to be liability. So I'll be happy to take the house out for you for a small fee, or take the tree out for you. And cut down the tree, did a shoddy job, as you would expect. He cut it before the other neighbor came home. And the other neighbor is the one that's telling the story on next door. That, again, trying to defraud old people and scheme that there's nothing wrong with that tree.
Yeah. You would think, though, that people would know. Fire department ain't going to go around and do that.
Well, that was his other job. That was his normal job. But, yeah.
They're not going to go around, like an off-duty cop's not going to come around and knock on your door and say, hey, for a fee, I'll inspect your house for burglaries or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
Right.
That's like IRS coming around knocking on your door saying, go to Walmart and get me this gift card and I won't take you to jail.
There are senior citizens everywhere.
Listen, I understand senior citizen. I understand sometimes when you get older, your brain don't work. My brain's dysfunctional most of the time anyway.
You told stories about your father.
Yeah, and Dad being Alzheimer's, full Alzheimer's patient. You could take advantage of him like crazy. And so I do sympathize with that. But if somebody's been, and I don't know I don't know where it ends or begins, but when somebody goes to a doctor, if he's an Alzheimer's patient, he's probably not driving.
Right.
Somebody's taken this person to that doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And once he's been diagnosed full-blown Alzheimer's, somebody's got to know about it. So at that point, I would think somewhere along the line, something has to be put in place to protect, if that person's going to continue living at home,
mm-hmm.
which I'm fine with that, there's got to be something put in place that person is being watched after.
Right.
Whether it be, I don't know, a community watch, I don't know.
That's entirely up to the family to set that up.
Well, there's things they can do though. Community Watch has they'll inspect your place 3 times, and I know a guy that his wife had some kind of surgery. This guy worked for when I worked there. He worked for the gate guard service like I did, and that's how I first learned about it. That Community Watch went by his house 3 times a week when he was working, and they would or they did a call check. And if she answered the phone, that was fine. If they didn't answer the phone, then they called him, saying, "We've tried to call your wife. She's not answering. Do you want us to stop by?"
Yeah.
And they did that. I don't know what they call that service, but they did have that service. And so I often wondered, that if you have family, if my dad lived down here, had full-blown Alzheimer's.
I'm in the process. We have.
Looky here, a whole bunch of sex things now popping up on here.
Yeah, I just nuked them.
How do they even get on here?
I don't know.
I'm going to go in there here in a little bit before we really sit down and start.
I've hit them and I put them in a timeout. I'm in the process of removing posts.
I think I can take that there and I can copy and paste that nude HD XYZ thing. I can copy and paste that in my YouTube jail. But all they do is they just change one letter in there and then they're back again.
Yeah.
Instead of saying XYZ, it might say XYD. It ain't my dating service. I'd like to get rid of them, and you can't. Phil's trying, but we can't. Oh, here's access to the block.
Yeah, I think I've.
Oh, you already done that.
Yeah, I'm in the process of removing those posts that I can.
How many have you got rid of?
All but 2, I think. Pornography or sexually explicit material.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That's not us. Probably find out that's from someplace in Africa.
No, it's probably from one of the neighborhoods around here, one of your competitors.
Oh, I doubt that. Oh, I doubt that. A lot of this stuff I'm seeing reports about Nigeria.
I got a call from somewhere in Africa last week, I think it was, and I didn't answer it.
Did you?
Yeah, because I didn't have 30 minutes to. Yeah, I've reported a meadow.
They've said if you don't get your driveway painted, it'll get moldy. I have noticed that the people around here that don't paint their driveways, that if they don't have it washed every so often, that it's like a black kind of moldy thing. You see a track where
it's dust and pollen and stuff that'll accumulate in it because I don't have a finished driveway.
Yeah.
We can't have finished driveways under my deed restrictions. So I do have a power sprayer and have a little round disc that goes over it there, and it's like a buffer, and it takes
You're
it all
done for
off.
a year.
Yeah.
They don't take much to get rid of it. But if you're a snowbird and you're gone 6 months, when you come back, you're probably going to see that in your driveway. And if you do have it painted, though, if you're a snowbird, then you won't have that problem anymore. It kind of takes care of it. But it's not a big deal. I know Romaldo, if I call him, he'll come out. He already told me he'd come out here and he'd wash my driveway, sidewalk, and my back porch and lanai for, I want to say, $100.
Yeah. With
that little scrubber thing. I haven't done it because it don't look like it needs it, but I may do it. I think the next thing on our agenda right now is, I think they called. Sue's made the appointment. I don't know what it is, but they're due to come back and wash the house. I do like doing that, keep it clean.
Yeah. William Rizzo wants to know what's going on with the mushrooms. They're everywhere. Well, we've had a lot of rain.
Mushrooms?
Yeah, mushrooms in the yard. I don't know if you've seen them here. We've got a lot of them around up north there.
Oh, do you? I don't see any around here. Well, I do. Way over there, I see one next to the road. But my yard got mowed this morning, so if I had any, he'd done chopped them off.
Yeah.
So I can't go by my yard. I'm looking over neighbor's yard, and I really get to look, and I do. I see some over there, too. Not a lot. I see like 3 or 4 of them in his front yard. I might see 1 or 2 over there. I see something shining at me. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I do see them. Just that time of year, I suppose. You know, in Indiana, we had a certain time of year where the button mushrooms would just pop up all over your yard. I went out there one year with a bucket. I was picking them all up. I took them in the house, and you got to peel them. And neighbor came over one day and asked me, he says, You're not eating them, are you? I said, yeah. He said, you're kidding. I said, well, yeah, it's just button mushrooms. You go to the store, these things are expensive to buy. We put them on pizza and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, those are poisonous. I said, no, they're not. So, the way you can tell, take a mushroom, turn it upside down, look at the bottom side of the shroom.
Mm-hmm.
If it's brown, don't eat it. If it's white, it's perfectly safe to eat.
I don't know.
I'm teaching you something right
Oh,
now.
there you go.
And that's what you can eat them. You can slice them up. My wife used to put them in flour. Very simple. Slice them, flour, cook them in butter, eat them like French fries. They are so good. I don't know what these are here. These might be nasty. This ain't getting hot. Well, it kind of is, but don't feel real hot.
Grandpa Eric wanted to know who your guest was. I told him it was me.
Want to know if I was what?
Who your guest was?
Oh, you mean tonight on the show?
No, now.
Oh,
Who's your Grubhub guy?
It's just Phil. We turned around. If you haven't seen him, he's been here for a while. I've been eating his chicken wings. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think that backlight kind of makes him dark. Yeah, that backlight just kind of makes it dark. The sun in the background, it automatically dims everything.
Yeah, and that's just as well. Yeah, they're not here to see me.
They've seen enough of me.
No, that's why they're watching.
They just want to hear some old man blather away. One guy says he likes to come to a WNL show. He said, you ain't going to like why I like to come. I said, why? He said, I keep waiting for it to fall apart.
Oh.
You know, when glitchy stuff happens?
Yeah.
He said, that's the best part of the show. I don't know whether to take that as an insult or what.
Comedy is where you find it. Oh, Grandpa.
This Minnie says they got mushrooms popping up everywhere too. She's in Virginia. One of my guests tonight, Mindy, I think is from Virginia, and then the other one is from I want to say Colorado somewhere. William Rizzo. He lives in Key West.
Okay.
And you're gonna love this. He said he bought a house. He bought a house in the villages somewhere, and because he wants to be a snowbird.
I mean, hurricanes. You got two choices.
I guess this is the northern. This is north for him.
Grandpa Eric, further down, you haven't gotten there yet, wants to know, did I miss the beer of the day?
It was Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I still got it here. I'm done with it. I drank it.
Oh, did it stay cold?
Yeah, it did. Problem is getting this thing apart, getting stuff out of it.
No, just twist the whole bottom off there. No, it twists. There you go.
Oh, there we go. And it fits in here really snug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to, if you put it in a refrigerator,
there I got it.
But it'll stay chilled.
No, I didn't put it in this way. No, I think I took it apart wrong the first time. Anyway, there it is. You know what? I think I did. I think this here comes off.
Part of it may twist off so that you get
that right there.
Yeah, just pull
I think
that just pull down.
No,
or does it twist?
I don't know, but I think this was on here like that, and then this
Here, I'll play with it.
Was off, and then I pushed the bottle down over the rubber gasket or whatever was on there.
Well,
so I don't know. Maybe once you put it together, it don't come apart anymore. But that's fine.
I think this is it because this is can size.
Yeah. No, when I had to put this on there, you could see that rubber gasket in there.
Mm-hmm.
I had to push this through that rubber gasket. I know I did.
Yeah.
And then I screwed it back on.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe now
it's just a little rubber ring that holds stuff.
Maybe it's stuck in there for good now.
No, it's supposed to be there.
How'd they get it apart the first time?
I don't know.
Well, I didn't take it apart. I mean, it was just there. Oh, see, it does thread on.
It does thread, yes, but it's not a very long thread. Yeah.
Yeah, and I pushed it through there. So
Yep.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, you can. You're supposed to.
No, it's easier just to slide it in that cup. I'm telling you, pushing it through there was hard.
Oh, you push it through first, and then you put it in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, first time,
Yeah. No, I like
learning curve.
Yeah. Learning curve with means it'll break soon.
Meadow 37 wants to know, are the Villages still considered to be one of the safest communities in Florida?
Probably. Really not that much that goes on, but Brothers rated as one of the safest in Florida. I've never seen that
Well,
fact.
I wouldn't say that Spanish Springs on a Friday or Saturday night is one of the safest places.
Yeah.
And is the crime rate a little bit higher in the south there because it's not quite so built up yet in the new construction?
Shoot, I don't know. You know, some of the stuff that I hear down there happened here when this was being built. Like somebody coming in and stealing construction equipment.
Mm-hmm.
People going in houses at night, stealing the microwaves and the refrigerators and all that. That happened here too. I don't think that's changed all that much, but I think as the villages gets bigger, you're going to hear more about it because it's just getting bigger. Percentage-wise, though, all in all, there ain't that much that really happens around here. Probably the thing you read about more than anything is drugs.
Yeah.
And then people drinking and driving. Well, number 3 would be people getting caught driving with suspended driver's license.
Okay. ¿Sí habla español?
Yeah, I know it. It's all the time. I don't know, man. It's like people coming to Florida thinking they don't have to have a driver's license. I don't know where that comes from.
Marsha, I was kidding about driving for Grubhub. I just ran some wings down to Skip today because I made some, and between my wife and I, we can't eat 14 smoked wings.
I can.
Okay. Well, you have a few more to go there. I bought you 7.
I'm just saying, I can eat a lot of them. How's the fishing down in the villages? I don't know, Martin. I don't fish. But there are certain ponds you can fish here, and I don't know which ones are which. I don't know if they got a map for that. And there's other ponds you're not allowed to fish in.
There was a picture the other day of somebody's son who had caught a largemouth bass in one of the local lakes, but it's a catch and release.
It's a catch and release here, right? You can't eat them.
And it was a huge bass.
Could be. I do know at the lake there, Lake Sumter, they got some giant fish in there, tilapia. But that's a private lake. I think the developer owns that. And now they're selling tickets, I want to say, where you can get in a boat with a tour guide, and they take you around the lake to go fishing for an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. Anything for $1, buddy.
Well, I'm waiting for Doris Day and the glass bottom boat to come back.
Yeah. But I don't fish. I see a lot of people that do fish. The basic unwritten rule, as far as I know, this is what they told me at the country club, if there's a pond on a golf course, you're not allowed to fish in it. Kind of makes common sense to me. You're going to get hit in the head with a golf ball. But other lakes that are not on a golf course, you could go fishing in them.
As long as you got something to protect yourself from the gators.
Well, you need to be aware of that there are gators in there. If it's water, there's gators in there.
Because you're gator bait.
Yeah. I do know along some golf cart paths, there's always a pond on this side or on that side, and I'm going to say those you can probably go fishing in.
Yeah.
But I don't know that. I'm sure they got a map or something that shows what areas you can fish in and what you can't fish in. Then obviously you can't go fishing in a lake if you have to walk between somebody's houses or through somebody's yard to get to it. You can't go fishing in them.
Yeah.
You're trespassing.
Right.
You know, so you can't do that. But there's a lot of them here. A lot of good fishing. I don't know. They have a fishing club here.
Yeah.
And they actually take trips to different places. I think there's certain members that own boats that don't own boats and whatever. And they go to different areas and go fishing. One of them was Lake Okeechobee. I seen that. They all went down there and went fishing. And I think they have a area out here on the Gulf. They take a boat and go out there, and they charter a boat or something and go fishing out there. So they have a fishing club here, and that'd probably be a good place to start.
They've also got a charter boat fishing club here, and they take buses and they go out and they go deep sea
Do they?
fishing there. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandpa was big on deep sea fishing. He liked doing it.
Hmm.
That was just one of his favorite things. Because he was an old guy. He had an artificial leg. He only had 7 fingers. He lost it all in World War II in an attack. And so he liked things that he could do around other people, but he didn't like to get out into the open very much. Like he wouldn't go in the ocean. He wouldn't go to the swimming pool. But what he did do, and I found this out when I got older, and I asked him about it, because I was kind of shocked when I first heard that my grandpa was a member of a nudist colony in Indiana.
Wow.
And I said, he wasn't. And Dad said, oh, yeah, he's been a member there for many, many years.
He didn't have many secrets to hide then, did he?
Well, his first wife, my dad's mother, he died. She died when I was just diapers, so he'd been single for many, many, many years. I don't think he ever got remarried. But I asked him about that. I said, Grandpa said, are you really a member of a nudist colony up in Indiana? I can't remember what it's called up there. It's still there. The colony's still there, but it's a different name now.
Sunshine Club or something
Yeah.
like that.
He told me, he says, yeah. He said, how do you know about that? Because I don't think you like that idea of me knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, I heard people talking. I didn't want to say Dad. I said, I heard people talking. Why are you a member of a nudist colony? And so he told me. When he told me, I felt this tall.
Yeah.
He said, well, back in the day when I had my leg first amputated, the healing process, all doctors would recommend get a lot of sunshine.
Okay.
The sun would heal it somehow, some way. I remember that. He said, and I can't do it in my neighborhood because, people watch, kids come by, and they inquisitive, they ask a lot of questions. And he said, I can't do it. He said, but I go to a nudist colony, I can sit outside and sunbathe my leg. And he said, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And that's why he did it. Fisherman 12 says garlic Parmesan wings. Is that what I've got? I know I had garlic, but they're not Parmesan though, right?
No, they're garlic and hickory smoked salsa.
Yeah. Well, you want one? Here. My friend the lizard hasn't come out today, probably because Phil's here. He doesn't recognize strangers. But that big lizard that I was telling Phil about, I got pictures of it this morning. Real lizard. I've never seen it here before. And it was back here on my lanai on the screen. And I don't know what kind it was. I got pictures of it. If I can on a video or whatever, I'll throw it in there so you can see it. Wasn't a huge lizard, but I would say if I had to take a guess, it was probably about 10 inches long from head to tail. Jerry Smart says there's a heat wave in southern Utah. Well, Meadow, I don't know. I don't know, how many under 55 crowd is going to move in here. You hear all kinds of rumors about how many they'll allow, how many they won't allow. I don't know. We'll see. That's all I can say. We'll just have to wait and see. But I can tell you in the wintertime when the snowbirds are here, age has nothing to do with it. It's golf. And the tee times are gone. You're going to get on the computer to get a tee time to find out there's, say, 2 of you. Well, every tee time is a foursome. They will not allow, on a country club, they will not allow just 2 people to go out and play golf. You have to have a foursome. So your 2 gets teamed up with another 2. And they do that so there's not so many golf carts out there running all over the golf course, and to be able to get more people playing per day. And I can tell you how many times I've went to Evans Prairie, a 27-hole course, mind you, to make a tee time, and just to find out that the only tee times that are available are it's 7 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock at night. Well, in the wintertime, it's dark, so you can't. And it's just hard to get a tee time sometimes. And the more people that come here, And the more they're not building any more country clubs down south, they're all going to come up here to play on the country clubs. Those who want to play country clubs, it just gets harder and harder, to the point where it's almost impossible in the wintertime to get a tee time, unless you want to schedule that tee time. And there's a limit on that, like a few days ahead of time. I want to say you can apply for your tee time 3 days early, but no more than like 5 days early. That don't mean you're going to get it. You apply for it. Like, you got to put a window time in there. Like, I want a tee time between 7 and 9. And then you have to wait until they send the actual schedule out. And you won't know if you got that tee time till they send you that approval. And at that point, you might get a saying, sorry, we could not accommodate your tee time, and you're out. You're done. You can't get a tee time now. And that's what happened to me quite a bit in the winter. So we started playing a lot of executive courses, and we found, here's a little sneak peek, if you go further north up there, say up around Nancy Lopez area, that's an older area. People up there don't play golf near as much as they used to because they're older. We could get tee times up there like almost every day. So we started playing up there quite a bit. Did you read Marcia's comment? I think she's picking on you.
About what?
Wanting to know if you work for Grubhub.
No, I was just kidding.
William, yeah, he bought a house in LaBelle over there. And so he's going to be a snowbird now. So he'll come up here during the hot months.
There you go. Or when the tourists get too bad down there.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been to Key West once in my lifetime. And one thing I noticed about Key West was, it seemed like there was a lot of, I'll call them old-time hippies down there, walking around. I think they're still on something. I don't know what. And when we were down there, we walked right up to the bell that you get your picture in front.
Right.
Now they're telling me that there's lines, hour long, to get your picture there.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
The southernmost point in the U.S., which it really isn't, because you've
really
got to
isn't.
go on the Naval Air Station, which has a point that's further, but because access is restricted, you can't get there. So,
Yeah, somebody was down there when we got our picture taken. I forget who it was. It might have been a military guy. I don't know. He was telling us about that, saying, they say that's the southernmost point. He said, but truthfully, it's not. And he pointed out there. You can see it across the water right there. He said, that's the southernmost point, but you don't have access to that.
Right.
And so
that's like if you drive up to the Arctic Circle on the gravel road up there that the truckers use. There's an actual marker there that says, welcome to the Arctic Circle, but it's not truly the Arctic Circle unless you're standing there and can verify that you can't see the sun, or the sun comes up at a specific time, either in the spring or the fall at the equinox. Because the Earth wobbles, the Arctic Circle moves with it. So the marker that they have, and all the tourist buses that go up there, they take all the tourists to that. Oh, I've been to the Arctic Circle. Well, truth be told, some of them are about a mile south of where the actual Arctic Circle is.
My one thing that I wanted to do in the motorhome, which I'm not going to be able to do now, was I wanted to go, not just there, that road. I wanted to go all the way up to Tuktoyaktuk up there.
Okay.
That road dead ends at the Arctic Ocean.
At Point Barrow? Or is this
I don't know the name. I don't know. No, the town's called Tuktoyaktuk.
Okay.
And at the end of Tuktoyaktuk, there's this big parking area right there that people go to. And people, all these different things they drive up there, from, I don't know what it's called, Land Rovers to whatever. And I know a guy, believe it or not, that actually took that Class A all the way up there. And I guess along the way, he had to get on 2 barges that takes you across the rivers or whatever. And then you go on the other side to another barge that took you across the river again to get all the way up there. And by the time he got back, he had so much mud, so much crap all over his motorhome. Not only did he have to have it completely steam cleaned and everything on the bottom, he had to get a brake job put on it because this mud got into his brake area and it messed up his brake shoes and the hubs and all that stuff. I said, man, that had to be an expensive trip. He said, yeah, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip. And when he was up there, the Arctic Circle, they did a little video. They all got their bathing suits on, and I guess it must have been really cold. They run into the Arctic Circle, turn around, and run back out, or the Arctic Ocean. They run in and turn around and came back out. And what the name of that town is, I always thought it was called Tuktoyaktuk, but I could be wrong about it. No. It's in Canada.
Oh, yeah, and that's Mobile up there, yeah.
Yeah. The furthest north you can go in the United States, I think, is, what's it called? Prudhoe Bay? Prudhoe Bay?
Prudhoe Bay.
Prudhoe Bay?
South.
Isn't that the furthest north you can go?
No, Prudhoe Bay is south down around, I think that's where the ship ran aground. You're thinking of, no, Prudhoe Bay, yeah, that's up north. That's where all the oil fields are at. And
that's where the ice road truckers go up and bring supplies and whatever. Yeah. I think that's the furthest north you can go in the States. Well, the furthest populated area you can go. You know, Canada, I think that's the furthest you can go in the populated area. But really, if you get to look at maps of Canada, man, there's a lot of unknown territory around there.
There is, yeah.
Wonder how many undiscovered Bigfoots are living in Canada.
Plenty, I'm sure.
Do you think that they come down to the United States during the cold weather and they go back up to Canada during the warm weather? When they're migrating like that, what do you think they eat?
Not sure.
I don't think they eat much.
I'm removing porn sites if I can.
Again?
Yeah, it's the same group. And hiding them.
You know, I got to thank YouTube saying they know this is a problem and they're looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what they're going to do about it. YouTube's also going to introduce something to us eventually, I don't know when, where I can go live for YouTube members only. And I'm probably going to utilize that. Patreon has a thing where I can go live, but I got to tell you, it's complicated for me to figure out how Patreon to go live on Patreon, because you got to get this number from YouTube, transfer it over to them, and then I don't even know. It's just a mess. And I already sent a Patreon email saying you got to work on this. This has got to be done easier. You know, because when I do Wednesday Night Live, I'm using StreamYard. I don't have to transfer numbers. I just poke a button saying I want this to be on YouTube live, and it is. So why can't I poke a button saying I want to go to Patreon Live with this? I don't know, but Patreon is going to have to get some things figured out because it's starting to be a real pain in the butt. And I feel like a lot of times that my Patreon members are not getting their money's worth because there are certain things I can't do or I can't figure out on there. And so I'm going to do something. I'm going to make a move sooner or later.
Sorry, Meadow, I hit the wrong button on the hide your post. I was trying to hide the porn. And
did you block Meadow?
I hid Meadow. So
he done it, Meadow. I didn't.
And then I called her Mindy, too, on top of that. So, damn.
You brought him back, though, right?
Yes, I've hidden.
Yeah, we saw Des Mindy. Phil's over here trying to get rid of him.
How much is a YouTube membership? Ronald Pass wants to know.
Oh, the cheapest is 99 cents.
Right.
It's nothing.
And if you go with 99 cents, like Joy Hutto above him, you get a green tag on your name, don't you?
You get things, I forget what they are, but them little pictures. Mm-hmm. If you for 1 month, you get this picture. After 2 months, you get another picture. After 3 months, you get a different picture. And your name also is in green. It shows me when I look at it, when I see people's in green, it shows me that that's a YouTube member. Patreon don't do any of that. Patreon members get on my YouTube channel, and I can't tell they're Patreon. I just try to remember the names. And that's what I'm talking about, stuff like that, little things like that. And, you know, I think for 99 cents on my YouTube members, they get more than their money's worth. they get whatever I put on there is always commercial free. That in itself to me is worth 99 cents. YouTube gets all that too, commercial free. But I got some loyal Patreon people that pay what I consider to be a lot for me, and I just feel like they deserve a lot more than what I'm giving them, and I just can't do some of the things I'd like to do because of the way Patreon's got it set up. It's just hard to get in there. So, I mean, I'd love to have a live on Patreon like every week, just like this. Every week, live on Patreon only. And they do have a way to go live on Patreon, but it's a complicated mess.
You don't need any more complicated messes in your life than you are.
I got enough complicated messes. You've seen how I am. I'll get on something, I'll be talking to somebody, and then somebody will say something, and then I forget what I was even talking about. See, there goes some more cars. There's got to be something for sale back here, and that's an Ohio license plate.
I'm going to go back to Ohio.
Huh? Go back to Ohio. We don't need any more.
All right, we're full.
I told Linda that the other day, but she's been around me long enough, I don't think she pays any attention to me. She sent me an email saying that hopefully, if everything goes right, her and Frank's going to be back here in September. And I don't know what month or what week, but in September. And so I was asking her, I said, so are you going to be the guest, the co-host in September, or do you know yet? And she said, well, if everything goes right, we'll be back in September.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. And I said, okay, well, let me know on your way home so I'll have plenty of time to go and have the people I rented your house out to have them move. You know, because I'd get in her house. You
know. Johnny Ola says, how about a meet and greet? So why don't you explain how you do meet and greets?
Meet and greets is when you get here, send me an email that you're here, and you want to do a meet and greet, let me know what day. I'll get together with Sue. If she ain't doing anything that day and I ain't doing anything that day, I'll get in contact with you. What I'll probably do is send you my phone number. And, yeah, we'll set it up. It's easy peasy, no big deal. Or you can just drive by here on Wednesday, bring your chip and dip.
There you
go. We'll just sit out here on the porch.
Have a potluck in the driveway. There you go. With the lizards out there.
Is he?
There's one under my car over by the.
Is it a big one?
Right rear. It's a male. He's flashing his throat thingy there.
Oh, I see. No, the one that used to come up here is 3 times bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this guy is so brave, and I don't get it. He comes from over there somewhere. He'll come running up. He'll get up on top of that shell. Mm-hmm. He'll flash at me 2 or 3 times, and then he'll run over to here. And one time, he actually run up and bumped against my foot and turned around and run back. So I don't know if he's trying to bite me or what he was doing.
Yeah, Monica's taking the name and the ones out by the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sue says, well, she says, show him away. I said, well, he's not bothering anybody. I'm just wondering why he's, am I wearing the wrong color? And it makes him mad. We think what it is, in that shell right there, and I've seen it 2 or 3 times, that there's a female that goes in there and lays eggs.
Okay.
She wraps around up inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the male trying to protect the nest.
Okay.
And I'm just here.
Right.
Because in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've noticed in that area, there was one there a while ago, we didn't see it, or you didn't see it. These little baby geckos are all over the place now.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be okay until the mockingbirds come back.
Vic wants to know why there's one Social Security office in a community of 140,000 retirees.
Good question. Maybe you have to ask them 80,000 new IRS agents about that.
Yeah, but not when they're drawn down on you.
Yeah. I don't know. That whole thing just kind of makes me a little nervous. I don't know what they're doing.
William Rizzo says he sent you an email 2 weeks ago. Did you get it? He's not sure that you did.
Well, I don't know either. What was it? Tell me what the email was real quick, and I'll jot my memory because I generally answer all my emails. I sometimes don't answer all the comments, but I do answer all the emails.
Mm-hmm. Marcia wants to know if you're providing the beer when they visit.
Sure. I'll provide you the beer that Phil provided me.
Hope you like Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Yeah, that's going to be your choice.
Skip's favorite.
Did he say what his email was?
No, no. Skip, William, I'd say resend that email to Skip, and then it'll be at the top of his list, which he won't get to till tomorrow because tonight's Wednesday Night Live.
No, don't come over tonight.
Yeah.
Nobody will be answering that door. Sue will be on her thing, and I'll be on my thing. The door will be shut. And once Wednesday Night Live, actually, when I get done here, I'll be going in there and setting up everything and double checking everything. I'll be sending emails to all the people that's going to be on the show, letting them know what time I'm going to send them an invite to be on the show. So I'll get that out of the way. And then I got to clean the room up because Sue gets so embarrassed when my chair is a mess, and I'm showing that on TV.
You got to make it look like the froggy.
No, I put them towels on the chair because that leather makes my back sweat.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I get up sometimes, the towels just slide down. And she says it makes everything look unkept. And then on that little table next to my chair with the lamps at, I put all my junk on there.
Unkempt?
Yeah.
Don't you live in the house?
Well.
Or is it just a museum show?
She has the rules.
Oh, okay.
Might be my room.
Okay.
But there's rules.
Well, I have my room. Monica has her room, and there's some rooms that we share.
Well, that's kind of the way I look at it. But
she doesn't.
Yeah, well,
doesn't see it quite.
She doesn't force me. She
Yeah.
just mentions it. Well, you should have cleaned that room up before you went on the air. That looked awful.
William Rizzo said he sent his address and a meetup for lunch. I guess. So.
You did?
Send
William,
it again, William.
If you sent me an email about a meetup for lunch, I can almost guarantee you what I sent you back was, let me know when you get here. That's what I always send everybody. I don't never make an appointment to do anything until you are here because things happen.
It's a good thing you're retired, so you got enough time to do all of this stuff.
I can't tell you how many times somebody has sent me something saying, we'll be down the first week of December. We'd like to have a meetup. Are you available? And I said, yeah, let me know when you get here. And then we heard nothing else from them.
Yeah.
Then the next email was, well, you didn't get in contact with us. Well, we couldn't get, that ain't what I said, So I probably sent you one back. Check your spam. I said that because somebody was sending me an email here a while back saying, want to know if he was in YouTube jail. I said, not as far as I know. Why? He said, because I keep sending you emails and you're not answering them. I said, well, first of all, email has nothing to do with YouTube. That's my own personal email. I said, I ain't got anything from you. And I think I was at a Porch Settin one time and somebody said, check your spam, see if he's in there.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
And I went in there and guess what? There he was.
Yeah.
He was in my spam. And I don't know why he was in there, but he was in my spam.
Ricky P., one of your YouTube members, says, hi, Skip. What's the end of story about circuit breaker?
Oh, I didn't. See how I am, my brain? When we first moved in here, we knew about all the warranty and who to call and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, the circuit breaker kept popping. And I don't mean it popped all the time. It may pop and it'll be okay for a couple of days and then pop again. It was always the same one. So I called down to the warranty department, told them what the problem was. Like within an hour, the company that installed the circuit breaker box, maybe the electric company wired the whole house, I don't know. But anyway, they called me up, said, we're going to be in your neighborhood within the next hour. Do you mind if we stop by? I said, no, I'll be here. So they stopped by. The guy gets out of the van, and he walks in my garage, because my garage at that time, there was nothing in it. It was clean. Not like it is today, but it was clean then. He walked in with a whole box of circuit breakers, brand new ones. I walked out there. I never thought anything about it. And I told him, I said, that one right there. He takes the stuff off the wall, and he starts pulling every circuit breaker out and throwing it in another box. I said, I only had the one that was bad. He said, I know. He said, but there's a recall on these circuit breakers. Some of them are bad, some of them are not. He said, we're not taking a chance. We're just taking them all out. Okay. Now, my point was, though, if he hadn't have told me that, I would never have known that the circuit breakers had a recall. Nobody sent me a letter. Nobody told me at the warranty office there was a recall. I never got anything. And so I think that's kind of the glitch with a new home here, is there could be recalls on stuff. When I got a recall on my Yamaha because I bought it, it came from the Village's golf cart store. It said there's a recall. But I never got a recall about these electrical circuit breakers. And I just wonder how many people in my neighborhood here has these bad circuit breakers. Well, by now they would have showed up, and didn't know that you can get them replaced for free. Because some of the stuff is not guaranteed for 10 years, as you well know.
Right.
But that's my story about the circuit breaker. That was probably the biggest problem we had at the house when we bought it. Other than that, we had one cabinet door we replaced because most of the wood in these houses is not really real wood. It's computer generated crap. And the ink had run, and they tried to convince me that that was the grain of the wood. I said, no, I know what that is. I want another door.
Yeah.
So they came up with another door. It wasn't no big deal. Other than that, there was one tile in our walk-in shower that instead of being, because it all kind of goes down to the drain, and instead of being level with the one next to it, it kind of stuck up just a little bit. And it wasn't a big deal, but I just kept looking at it, and it just bugged me. So I called and told the tile guy to come out and look at it. He came out and looked at it. He said, "Oh yeah," he said, I'll replace that." And he cut it out with a thing, and I'd say half an hour later, he had a new one in there. And as far as I can remember, that's it. That's the only problem. And all it was minor stuff.
Right.
It wasn't no big deal.
Bill says he's coming down here on Sunday and Monday for a visit, staying at the Brownwood Hotel. Can't wait to see the place and drive around in my rented golf cart. If you're going to drive around in your rented golf car, hopefully you have an iPhone or an Android. Get the app Villages GPS. It's blue, dark blue background with a magnetic compass on it, as opposed to the green one with the V on it, which is another GPS app. But the blue Villages GPS will give you turn-by-turn instructions, and if you put in where you want to go, it will tell you how to get there by golf cart trail.
So it's the blue app that's the good one.
The blue app is a good one. It says Villages GPS on the app button on your phone.
I knew there was two of them, and one was good, the other one wasn't so good.
And Vic Madera says, "Remember, Bill."
Bill,
what do you always say about golf carts?
don't leave your key in it.
That's right. Don't leave your keys in the golf cart or anything else that you consider valuable. Because if you're in a rented golf cart, the way you tell rented golf carts is they have numbers on the front of them, and they're generally white.
Yeah.
And people know that, okay, this is a noob or somebody with a loaner or something. So don't leave anything you don't want to lose in your golf cart.
Listen, these thieves around here knows what's going on around here. They can drive by a house and tell you if that house has a snowbird in it or not. Like that lady over there. Look at the driveway. You can tell she's not there.
Yeah.
And if I was wanting to rob a house with stuff, there's a prime example.
Yeah.
I keep an eye on it for her, but still, what if I wasn't here?
Herschel Walker's looking for contributions. I just got a message from my iPhone.
Huh?
Herschel Walker, running for Senate in Georgia. It's the political season when you get all of these requests for fundraising.
I'm getting a lot of that political stuff too.
Well, Vic, the green one should have been free, but the blue GPS will run you about $7 or $8, as I recall. Yeah.
Well, I know that the one you pay for, everybody tells me that's the one to get.
Yeah.
It's a one-time fee, though, right? You don't pay it every month.
It's $7 and it updates. Yeah. Golf carts don't have alarm systems generally, Marcia. You could have one put on, but by the time it goes off, it'll be stolen.
Nah. And if you got a rented one, I guarantee you don't have an alarm.
The nice thing about the Green Villages app with the V on it is you can get WVLG, the Villages radio station, and if you have Bluetooth speakers in your golf cart, then you can listen to the Villages radio as you're driving around.
True. I had a Bluetooth speaker. It's in my office now, but I bought mine on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I just hung it up. I got a little shelf right here. You probably got one, don't you?
Yeah. Well, not a shelf, but bar for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I fastened it up there, and it works surprisingly well.
Yeah. The first one that the Villages installed in my golf cart down in Brownwood when I came down here for my lifestyle visit and ordered one through them was not a good Bluetooth system. And they said so, and they put a new, better Bose system, Bluetooth system in, and that works much better. I've never had one problem with it at all. The other one had static and disconnected.
I guess I got lucky.
The Bose one was really good.
The only thing is, other than connecting to my phone, where I could have, if I had music on my phone. I could tie it into the speaker,
Mm-hmm.
but I never had the volume control in my phone. I had to physically reach up there to turn the volume up if I wanted to. Is that a big deal? Not really, I suppose, but I know a lot of them. They got an app.
Yeah.
Everybody's got an app.
Well, coming up on 4:30. When do you need to cut out for your prep for tonight?
Well,
It's coming up on 4:30.
mine says 2:25.
Yes, it does. Well, that's why I said coming up on 4:30. And my picture cut out as you were eating there. Why did it? My oh no, this thing's still working.
I don't know.
Yeah, one device connected. Are you still broadcasting from there?
Yeah, I got me on here.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure why I don't.
Rizzo says I'll try again. Okay, man. But yeah, when you're up there, just let me know when you get here, and yeah, we'll meet up for lunch. Shoot, I got nothing better to do. I don't think half the time. But I do know I'm starting to get a little antsy-pantsy sitting here all the time because of gas prices. And I'm thinking seriously about taking maybe a week after WNL and moseying south. Think about going over toward the Tampa area, following the coastline, go down to Punta Gorda area, have some good seafood down there. I know where to go. And maybe spend a night down there or whatever. Go to villages, not villages, the fishing village market, whatever it's called. Fisherman's Village. Yeah, we like going there. And, you know, I don't know, just make a big U-turn down there somewhere and head back up this way. So I'm thinking about doing that.
Well, my chat still works, but I don't have a picture.
I don't know why.
Not going to worry about it.
Is your phone going dead?
No, I got plenty of battery. I can still see you, though. Not on my phone.
Yeah, but I don't understand why it would do that.
Heat, maybe?
You know, you might be overheating.
Yeah, because this case, it's not untouchably warm on the backside, but it's warm.
This one here is a lot cooler today than it was the other day. It was so hot I couldn't hardly touch it.
Yeah. Tom Quinlivan says, nice hat. Where can I purchase that? And I'm afraid you're going to have to give him the bad news.
Marcia says, do golf carts have alarm systems? You can get some. They come with golf carts, but I'm talking about the $25,000 and $30,000 golf carts.
Yeah.
I think they come with it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them don't. You can, like Phil's saying, you can get it installed. Or if you know anything about mechanical work, you can probably order from Amazon and put them on yourself. But if you get an electric cart, I think it's Club Car now. The newer Club Cars has got a password to get them to work. It's like, it looks like a telephone button thing, and like you put numbers in, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then it activates it to go.
Until somebody cuts two wires, splices them together.
Well, see, there you go, right?
Yeah.
There's always a way of stealing it, but I'm just saying that some of the electric carts has got that.
Yeah, sadly, the thieves are smarter than we are generally about.
And I think on the newer Yamahas, mine might be one. I don't think it is, but I think the newer ones has got computerized keys.
Yeah.
Where the ignition actually recognizes the key.
Mm-hmm.
Would that stop a guy? It'll slow them down probably, but you can never stop a thief. They always figure out a way. Only thing you can do is chain it to a tree. And I'm not sure that'll work all the time. But the one thing you don't want to do is leave your keys in the golf cart.
Thunder and lightning.
It just, right over there. It comes right that direction every night about this time. And about the time we start WNL, I hope it's past us.
Yeah.
Or it may not be. But don't leave it in there. It's too easy. I'm telling you. I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to steal it on purpose. Here's what happens a lot. I've seen it happen a lot. People go into, like, say, Cody's down there, and you'll see a line of golf carts in front of Cody's. A bunch of guys go in there to the table, and they're sitting around after a golf game. They're drinking beer and having a good time, blah, blah, blah. And there'll be 3 or 4 golf carts out there the same color, red. And the guy will go out there and get in the golf cart, his key fits, and he just goes home with it. And then the guy goes out there and realizes that his golf clubs ain't in the right golf cart. somebody stole my golf cart. He calls the police.
Mm-hmm.
And then they figure out later that, no, he didn't really steal it. George went home. He had one too many beers, and he just took the wrong golf cart. I've seen guys at Evans Prairie back here. They'll say, somebody stole my putter. They stole it on hole number 17 because that's where it came up missing, was hole number 17. And then you realize, when you go out and looking, no, he didn't steal his putter. He put it in the wrong bag. He went to the wrong golf cart or put it in the wrong bag, and so it's out there, but he just didn't have it in his bag.
Yeah.
So those things happen a lot. And sometimes those things get reported, and I do laugh at them sometimes, because if you don't live here and see this, sometimes you don't know what's going on in my mind. But sometimes these stolen things, I don't report a lot of them because they're not really stolen. But the ones that are stolen are the guys with the tattooed face, the tattooed neck. They catch him with this golf cart driving down Highway 27 and 441, and he's got fentanyl in his front pockets. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are stolen. What is fentanyl anyway? I hear a lot about it, but I don't know what it is. I know it's a drug. That's all I know.
Yeah, and it's very addictive, and it's very potent. And as a matter of fact, they've had cops overdose on it, handling people that get the dust and the powder on them, and they have a specific drug that they carry around with them that neutralizes the effects of fentanyl. But fentanyl gets laced into a lot of drugs these days.
So it's a snorting drug like cocaine?
Or it can be in a pill. It doesn't matter however you choose to ingest it, I guess. I'm not a professional drug consumer.
Well, we're going to have to call it quits. My battery's at 10%, and let me get one. Oops, wait a minute. Turn this on. Turn it on. Come on, baby. Kick him. Are we still frozen? Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm just about caught up now, I think.
Well, my picture's frozen because the battery thing came on.
Hmm.
I think it's good now. Are we back on here? Yeah, we're on here. Okay. We'll do this for just a second or two, and we're going to get out of here because the battery went low. I had to plug it in, and when I have to plug it in, I lose the microphone. I know you guys like the external microphone better. So, anyway, I think Phil's caught up with most of the chat. That's the Ohio guy right there, zooming through.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of these people drive way too fast through a neighborhood.
I need to get back in chat so I can say, please like and subscribe.
Yes. You guys listen to what Phil has to say.
Yeah, I get it right occasionally.
Is that your new car?
That's the new old car. Yeah, we bought that when we came down here, so we'd have something that would fit in the garage.
I thought the last time I was up at your place, the car was blue.
That was the old Ford Explorer. We sold that and the pull-behind camper that we
The camper?
had, and our house in Ohio. Sold all those in about the space of 3 months. When the markets were at the top, we sold it the right time, got out, and everything's crashing.
You know, my cousin done that. He came down here in one of them little Class B Mercedes things.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to him, and I said, so what are you going to do? Travel? What are you going to do about your house up in Indianapolis? You got somebody to watch it? He said, I sold it. Now, he made his money years ago. He was a land developer in Colorado somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then he moved to Indiana. He bought this place, and he sold his development company, and apparently he did really well because he sold this place like when he was 35, and he's 55 now, and he's never worked another day in his life.
Yeah.
So he done well, whatever it was. So I said, well, what do you do with your house? He said, I sold it. He said, I had to.
Yeah.
So I thought, financial problems. I said, what do you mean you had to sell it? He said, top of the market. He said, how can you not sell?
Right.
I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to travel the country in this thing till the price comes back down. He said, and I'll buy something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I walked away and I look at Sue, goes, see, how do you not sell? I had the same question about this place. How do you not sell?
Because you're not getting, with a home, you're not going to get anything cheaper.
Well,
and like you said, you're in a perfect location here.
Yeah, we are in a good location. Well, there's a lot of good locations. We're not the only good location.
No, we think we're in a good one up north there.
Yeah.
You know, close to Spanish Springs, not too far from Lake Sumter.
Well, one thing that I'll say about some of them homes up north, and not just any particular one, there's a lot of them up there.
I think in a lot of ways they're built better than they are down here.
Yeah.
Down here they started doing things because it boosted profits. Up there they build them to get, and they build them better, I think, to get people to come down here and buy more. And the property sizes up there, depending on what model you get, are, I think, is larger. Driveways are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And you come down here, and our area, the property sizes here are smaller than a lot of them up, say, around Spanish Springs area. But you get down to Finney, property sizes and driveway sizes, I've noticed, is even smaller. So they're cramming in as many as they can per acre. What'd that say? Something about I live in TV land now?
Yeah. Ronald Pass was saying you still live in Ohio. No, I lived in the Dayton area, and then I retired for the last time, the second and third time, and I moved down to Florida.
Ron Pass, he's my, how's he put it? I met him down here. He's my most favorite fan or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was supposed to sell his place like 2 years ago. I moved down here, and he's still hanging on up there.
Yeah. Mindy says the sound is quieter, and I think she missed where you said I unplugged
Yeah,
the
I had to unplug the microphone, Cindy, because the battery in my iPad was getting low, and I got my iPad plugged into my Jackery now, and there's only one plug on here. And so when I done that, I had to unplug the microphone. So you're probably not going to hear Phil very well, and you're not going to probably hear me as well as you should. I really need to just close this thing out anyway, because I don't think I really have anything important to say. Ton Quinlevin says, nice hat, where can I purchase? The Village's store? Oh no, the Hillsboro hat? Oh no, that's our neighbor. He sells them. You can get them off of him, or he has once or twice a year, he has like an open house down there at his place. You can go in, he has all of his merchandise laid out. Hillsboro, everything on here is Hillsboro. Unless you live in Hillsboro, you probably don't want any of this. Let me see where it says Hillsboro right there. So if you live in Hillsboro, you want to go up and see him, and he'll take care of you. His son's got a printing shop, I guess you call it, in Ohio somewhere. Can't think of the name of it. I want to say Dayton, but I won't swear to that. But yeah, he does all of our neighbors. It's all embroidered. There's nothing painted. It's all embroidered, which I like that better. And the hats that we've got coming on my for the Children's Wish Foundation, the W&L hats, they told me those are all embroidered. I don't know what the price is going to be. They said all that. I want to say it's like $23 a hat, which I think is outrageous myself. But I think Sue said I paid $35 for this one. I don't know. It is what it is nowadays.
When does your awning kick in wind-wise?
I don't even know that. I know it's kicked in on me a couple of times during windy days. It's the thing's right there. See where it's...
Oh, the sensor, yeah.
Yeah. And there's like a mercury thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that goes up and down enough where that mercury slides to one side or the other, that's when it triggers it to go in.
Okay.
But like right now, the way it sets, it's not going to go in.
But the breeze is picking up, and we've got
It will. And if it picks that up, it'll go in.
Because lightning's right over there, I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll come through here, and it'll dump a bunch of rain, and then it'll just clear up just that quick.
There you go.
You guys probably get a lot of... it's a weird thing, though, here in the village is I try to relate to how the size of what we are. I can't tell you how many times we've been at Brownwood, and it'll be raining like crazy, and we'll drive up to Lake Sumter, and the streets are dry as a bone. There's nothing going on.
And it's 11.2 miles between your house and mine as I drive on Buena Vista, predominantly.
And so you've seen that, where it be raining one place and not raining in another?
Yeah, I mean from Savannah Center down to 444 or 466.
I wonder how far it is from the most southern point of the villages to the most northern point, which is up there around Mallory, all the way up there, all the way up by Mallory. What's the name of that place up there? You got Mallory Recreation Center,
mm-hmm.
but then you got that where the back porch is at?
You got Mulberry up there.
Mulberry.
Yeah, Mulberry and the
Mulberry.
VA center and whatnot. So
Yeah.
if somebody wanted to take their village's GPS app from where they live down south,
That's a drive and a half.
444, and put in the VA clinic in Mulberry, that would tell you how far it is from south to north.
Somebody told me once.
It's
I
got to
want
be
to
over
say
20 miles.
I guess I wanted to say he said 23 miles,
Mm-hmm.
but I won't swear to that.
Yeah.
And as they build more and more, it's even getting further and further.
Yeah. And then it's going to take you 4 hours to drive down to Disney, but it'll be quicker than taking 27-441 because you don't have a light every 100 meters.
Yeah, I just hope that if they do have a golf cart trail going to Disney, that there's some hotels along the way with golf cart parking.
Sure, a golf cart garage would be nice. Yeah. So you didn't get rain in your golf cart.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, I think it's about a 45-minute drive to Disney. Cause we got friends that are members. There's a Disney club here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called All Things Disney or something like that, or Disney Freaks or whatever it's called. And they go down in groups. I thought about going down there once or twice because you know they offer Florida residents these discount things. I thought about going down there. I wanted to check out a couple of new things they got. I'm not big on the rides and all, but the shows I like. And I wanted to check out that Star Wars thing. I'm still waiting for the newness to kind of wear off of that. And then over at Universal, they got Harry Potter thing.
Right.
I haven't never seen that either. I would like to see that.
I've never seen any of the Harry Potter movies. Wouldn't mean much to me, but both my sons have been down there when.
I saw what the first movie, and you know it's a kid thing, but the attraction itself is what would fascinate me. I think it's the engineering of that fascinates me. It's like you can see a train go by you and disappear in a wall.
Mm-hmm.
That just fascinates me.
Yeah, that would be freaky. Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. I would like to see it. I think.
Monica wanted to go down there and get a wand.
Get a what?
Wand.
A wand.
Harry
Oh,
Potter wand.
yeah, but those do something.
Well, yeah, at certain parts of the Harry Potter land, you can go around and the wand activates some of the
Yeah,
things
I
there.
saw
And
that.
if you don't have a wand, it doesn't activate for you.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
saw
pay to
that.
play
Where
that.
yeah, you got a wand, you buy it for like I don't know, $100, whatever it is, and you can go down through there and make different things, do different things. That
Mhm.
if you don't have a wand, it won't work.
Yep.
So I thought that's kind of cool. But I would like to go down there, and if I go down there, what I would like to do is I'm going to spend the night. I guarantee you, if I go to Universal for a day or two, or 2-day pass, whatever they got, I want to spend the night in Universal. Hell with this fighting the traffic to get back to the hotel thing. I'm not doing that.
Vic Madeira says Mulberry Rec Center to Finney Grill is 18 miles.
It could be. I'm not sure exactly, but I know you can go farther than that.
Yeah.
Finney's not the southern end.
Right.
So if it's 18 to there, I haven't been down there in a while, so I don't know how much further you can go past that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems to me that they went to the right and they started building along Megason Road. Now they're all the way over here at Richmond, which is actually by Brownwood.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to leave it to you. Say hi to Sue.
Marcia says, I am hearing thunder.
Well, in Atlanta, I think she means.
Oh.
Where she's at.
George says, WNL tonight? Yep. Yep, we're set up for it.
7
Hopefully,
o'clock, right?
Huh?
7 or 8.
7 o'clock Eastern.
Alrighty.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
I'm gonna call it here. We're done with this. It's been long enough. I've babbled long enough. So see you all guys tonight during WNL show.
See you on the other side.
Yeah, see you on the other side of the camera. As soon as I figure out how to stop this thing. I have this
You
trouble.
got an extra 15 minutes to tear down.
Have what?
You got an extra 15 minutes to tear down.
Tear down. I gotta figure out how to shut this thing off. I go through this all the time. Oh, there it is.